Good evening, NFL sports fans. This is Scott Schertzen alongside Mr. Obi Spencer, and this is Stream Punk Sports, Thursday Night Football, reaction, rambling, and commentary as the Pittsburgh Steelers look to keep their playoff hopes alive against the Minnesota Vikings, who are a team that are also struggling to keep their hopes alive while sitting at 5-7. This is a game right now where the Vikings are favored by 3 simply because of the fact that they're playing at home, but they're going up against a Ben Roethlisberger who on his career is 47-1 on the road. This is probably going to be a, frankly, relatively uninteresting matchup. We were talking about this a little bit ahead of time. So it'll be interesting to see if this ends up proving us wrong and actually ends up being a solid matchup overall. But both teams are struggling to hold on to their very, very faint playoff hopes.
This game, welcome to this amazing game that we are putting on here. This is a game we are going to eliminate a team from the playoffs in an unofficial elimination game. That is my opinion. I believe the loser can hang up their cleats for the season, if you will. It's more interesting to me if Pittsburgh loses so we can see if they're going to put in Haskins and see what Haskins has, and maybe we can find out what Haskins has. I feel like Ben doesn't have anything left for 2022, so I think his next loss might be his last NFL football game. Of course, only time will tell. With that all being said, I'm going to take the Steelers to cover the 3.5-point spread and the game to be under the 46 points that we've had. I've been on a little bit of a roll on the over-under, so maybe we can keep that going for the fans and take that under.
All right. So do you have an actual score for this or no?
No, we don't do that here.
All right.
You come on now.
Well, see, I'm actually going far enough to actually try to predict the score, which I was pretty close the other day. I don't remember what I said, but I was pretty close the other day. I will go with the Steelers taking it 24-13. Again, Ben Roethlisberger has a better record on the road, frankly, than Kirk Cousins has at home. And I think that needs to play into this a lot right now. Pittsburgh is 6-5-1, which is not impressive, but they're going up against the Minnesota Vikings, who are currently 5-7. The ironic twist about this is that they both have something in common with the Detroit Lions. They are the two teams this year that have actually not beaten. They were actually had a tie or a loss against the Detroit Lions, which is a kind of a bad, embarrassing situation when you're one of those two teams.
Yeah, so this is the Detroit Bowl. We are the two teams that could not beat Detroit. That is what we are saying. So you should. That's sad, right? That's a sad state of affairs. We are the two teams that didn't beat Detroit.
And that's the best. This is the best that we're going to get in this case. But every team is required to play a Thursday night game. Ben Roethlisberger has gone on record by saying that he hates the Thursday night games because of just how tired and how sore you are from Sunday playing on Thursday. He said it's a nice break to actually have the weekend off, but you book every masseuse, every chiropractor, you book everybody you can for those 3 days leading up because your body hasn't physically healed from Sunday and you're suddenly playing on Thursday.
Yeah, it is just not a good picture to have these games on Thursday. I know sometimes you talk about how we expect offensive masterpieces because the defense is tired, but we see the offense struggling as well all too often on these Thursday night games. And now we're talking about one offense missing its best running back, another offense with a quarterback who, although is a surefire Hall of Famer, as somebody once said, a surefire Hall of Famer means old. And that's what he is. Two guys who came in with him who are also really close to being surefire Hall of Famers. One is an Eli because he's got 2 Super Bowls. One's on the other side of it, in my opinion, because he doesn't. Like literally, if he moved the 2 Super Bowls from one guy to the other and kept the numbers the same, I put the other guy in and keep Eli out. But that's not how it happened. But they retired. And Phillip Rivers looked old last year. And Eli Manning looked old 2 years ago. And neither of them took the abuse and played with the style that this guy does, which is, going to cost him some time, you would imagine.
But this is the reason right here why the NFL continues to do Thursdays, because it's ridiculously profitable. And in this case here, we very well may be looking at the last Thursday night game for Ben Roethlisberger's career. And it wouldn't surprise me. He's been in the league 17, 18 years now.
Yeah. I mean, we could be looking at, I would go so far out on a limb and say we could be looking at Ben Roethlisberger's last game.
Yes.
If they lose this game, it is conceivable. I'm not making the prediction, but it is conceivable that they go, he's done. We're done. What is Dwayne Haskins? Because if Dwayne Haskins is somebody we can use, or the other quarterback they got who actually played the 1 week, if one of these guys is somebody we can use, they're going to be cheaper on the salary than chasing down Kirk Cousins, chasing down Aaron Rodgers, chasing down Russell Wilson, bringing in the potential nightmare that is Watson and what his contract is. So all of the good quarterbacks we talk about, they cost money. And you got two cheap options on the roster. So if Roethlisberger goes down, do you see what you have in one of those guys?
Yes. Here's the thing. I never gave up on Dwayne Haskins. You know how I felt about him from the beginning. You know how I stand with that. Yeah. Right now, he played. I mean, last time he actually took the field was last year. That he threw 5 touchdowns and 7 interceptions with a Washington team that ultimately, technically made the playoffs. His record was 1-5 though, so we have to actually, we can't dismiss that. But you have to wonder how he would be in a Mike Tomlin environment if Ben Roethlisberger gets injured or they're out of it. I would say if it was me, and obviously I would have no pull on this, you give Haskins a shot. You see what he's able to bring to the table. And then if it's Roethlisberger's last game, either permanently or with Pittsburgh, you let him start that last game. That's my take anyway.
My only reason I would not say put in Haskins, the only reason I would not say is you got Coach and Tomlin who is so good, he may be able to figure out if he's got a quarterback in Haskins while Haskins rides the bench. Because honestly, that's, by the way, what we saw last year with Sean Payton, right? When Breeze went down, he did not put in Winston. He kept Winston on the bench, kept him learning, made sure he knew everything he wanted to know. When the season started, people thought Winston might not be the starter. Then, boom, lo and behold, Winston started, and Winston was having a decent enough season. If Winston wasn't hurt, I feel that there was a few games in there that New Orleans definitely would have won, including the last game we saw them play.
Yes.
I think if you might keep him on the bench because that's where you want him to sit and learn your system and be a member of the team, and then still start him next year. And this is one of the few coaches in the NFL, I'd say, if that's how he wants to do it, he can do it that way and let it be.
Now, in this case, I did check this out. Dwayne Haskins is a restricted free agent next year. So he can shop around, but Pittsburgh can, if they want to, give him an offer that can match before he has to sign with any other team. So they would be able to, if he wants to stay in Pittsburgh and he likes the environment, as we're underway at this point, you might want to try Haskins for a year. Legit try him and see what he's capable of doing.
Yeah. No. Yeah. And so that's what, yeah. So I don't know if we'll see him today. By the way, I have 2 guys going in my league today on this game. I have both Justin Jefferson and Pat Freiermuth. So lots of rooting interest for me on this game.
And I got Bagel today. So both me and my other guy had Bagel today. So
between 5 teams, I got 2 guys, and they're both on the same team. This is a team that has such a bizarre circumstance for getting into the playoffs. It's like I got to win, and I got to outscore this team, and have this guy outscore that team, or outscore this team, that guy outscores this team. That the permutations are, and so many of them around points.
Perfect storm.
Just like, all right, yeah. Somebody set up this. There's a formula that we have on the website that is called PowerPoints, and so it determines.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Some things based. Yeah. So based on this PowerPoint, you have the guy who has the highest PowerPoint who didn't make the playoffs makes the playoffs and the 6th seed. So there you go.
Dalvin Cook with a big pickup, by the way. He's already across midfield, almost down to the 40-yard line.
Oh, I thought he wasn't playing.
Yeah, no, he seems to be playing. I mean, it's hard to tell him reading that all that hair, because that was a 20-yard pickup. That freaking awesome hair that I'm jealous as crap of. But yeah, they're off to a really good start right now. Kirk Cousins is 2 for 2 for 13, and Cook has 1 rush for 20 yards. So,
All right.
Cook with the ball again. Picks up Cook. Oof. Yeah, picks up about 4 on that. But he's pushing the line. I got to wonder if it was too premature for me to say Pittsburgh was going to win this game.
Well, I thought I made my prediction thinking Cook wasn't playing. I must have seen it wrong, and now I'm gonna lose my shirt. My whole. Oh wait, I'm wearing a Pittsburgh shirt.
There you go.
So maybe not.
Yeah, are we ever going to do like strip football? Make a mistake, take off article of clothing. God, I hope not.
Yeah. Yeah. So check out our OnlyFans for.
Cousins going deep down and very close to a touchdown, a one-handed touchdown there. But it brings up 3rd down and 6.
I would have been very happy with that touchdown. Jefferson could have hauled that in.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah. He had his hand on it. He had the second hand on it, but couldn't bring it down, and he knows it too. Oh, yeah. Fitzpatrick's fired up too, but he had nothing to do with that.
He probably did have just enough to do with it.
He was outrun though. But now here at the 38-yard line, 3rd down and 6. This is definitely 4-down territory. I would agree with you 100% on that one. But I think they may have taken nope. They call it delay a game. I think they just took a delay a game on an incomplete pass. Yep, there it is. See, that's the kind of mistakes that Minnesota has made all season for years. You're at the 38-yard.
That's coaching.
Yeah, but these are the kind of things that you can't have happen. It's one thing maybe a little bit on a run play, but that was an incomplete pass that you just had that on. And now it's 3rd down and 11, which is a massive, massive difference at the 43-yard line.
And we get to see the replay again.
Yes, we do.
By the way, I don't think Fitzpatrick was So I'm not sure.
All right, so here's the big question. Now it's 4th down and 3 or so at the 35-yard line.
It is, or
4th down and 3 at this point. I don't know if they're keeping him in or not. Nope, looks like they're going for 3.
I would take the 3.
I think so too.
So this is a team I don't think is going to score a lot of points against me. I think 3 points matters a lot in this game.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and 53 is not, like I said, what it used to be. So you got enough to at least get back into some semblance of field goal range.
Yeah.
So the kick is up and it's going to go wide. Oh, wide left by a week and a half. And a completely wasted drive by Minnesota. But Roethlisberger goes back, gets the ball for the first time for Pittsburgh as they take a break, 11:43 left. A good drive overall by Minnesota, but it ends with a kick wide left. What a shame.
I would say that was a too good play drive, but they missed the touchdown opportunity, which would have been a great catch. And it was a good throw, but not a perfect throw. Then they hurt themselves by going offside. So Pittsburgh didn't do anything to stop them, but they didn't help themselves. They stabbed themselves in the foot more than once.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's what Minnesota does. By the way, Roethlisberger's record against the Vikings, actually, despite the long career, is only 3-1. 65.4% completion, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception, which for 4 games, again, is not a lot, and averages 235 yards per game. So manageable, but nothing extraordinary.
No.
Yeah, but 4 touchdowns in 4 games. That's like Baker Mayfield numbers.
Yeah, that's and I mean, you're looking at when those games were part of his career. Ben has had some, early in his career was not a passing machine. He was handing it off. He's had seasons where he was a monster behind in the back, and then he's had seasons where he was a game manager almost. His career peak as a great passer was not very long. His career itself has been a very good length.
Well, he only plays them every 4 years, which is why it's only 4 games. But
right,
still, it's bizarre when you have that many years to only play a team 4 times. I understand the AFC, NFC's aspect of it. It just still strikes me as odd.
It's going to be even that those numbers are going to increase. You can have a 16-year career, obviously, and only play a team 4 times. But now you have that one strength of schedule game against another team in the other division. So you're going to start to see some more. Those guys will play 6 games in 4 years.
Yeah.
In 16 years, I mean. So
in that case, you have that 17th game, and however that's going to work itself out.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's an extensive schedule against the other conference. So that's going to give you these opportunities to maybe develop some rivalries across conferences as well.
Yeah, especially the same territory, like, Philadelphia and Pittsburgh, maybe, for example.
Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, Houston, Dallas.
Yeah.
LA, New York, right? You get the Giants every 4 years as is, but then you play each other every 4 years, plus every in between, there's a 1 in 4 chance or something that you'll play each other as well a second time. So,
yeah, and that's, like I said, it's always kind of a novelty when the Giants and the Jets play each other.
Right.
And it's also a novelty when we're a road team.
I don't know which is a bigger novelty, but yes.
You got. I mean, I think the last time I think more often than not, the Jets are considered the road team. Which is funny because there's more Giants fans by more.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's take a look-see. Giants, Jets, 3. Football DB is a phenomenal site. The Giants lead the all-time series 8-6. Now they do rotate. Okay. Back to 1970. Jets, Giants. Jets, Giants. Yeah, I'll let it back up. Most recently, 2009 lost to the Jets 34-27.
There you go. Your Giants not getting it done again against the lowly Jets.
Yes. Lowly is a good word, but then again, so are the Giants. We can go down that road anytime we want and often ad nauseum. So,
all right, 3rd and 1.
But here we are, first down, just across
midfield.
Nice
just get the 3 yards and let's go again.
Exactly. Reset the downs. Manage the clock.
Well, today or this week, Mr. Coach Parcells and Coach Johnson came out swinging, saying coaches are going in for too much on 4th down. So obviously they and I don't agree. Of course, they do have the Super Bowl rings and I do not. But I also think they played in an NFL where you could run the ball. And
yes,
a field position NFL much more than this passing game NFL.
I think when I was researching this game ahead of time, when Pittsburgh and Minnesota met in the Super Bowl, they had a combined, I think, like 270 yards passing between both sides. And between like Fran Tarkenton and Terry Bradshaw. And that's just indicative of what football was back in that era. I enjoy it much more as a passing league now. But back then, it was pretty Dullsville.
Yeah. So it's hard for me to say that they're wrong because they have the experience and the pedigree and everything else to kind of prove it. And then it's hard for me to say that they're right because they coached and played in an era that was entirely different.
Yes. Which opens up the question. Obviously the Madden games, you can have the all-time teams and everything like that. If you look at, we'll say a Tom Brady team, a Tom Brady prime Pittsburgh team, and you put them up against any of the dynasties that happened previously, in this case, Pittsburgh and Bradshaw and everything like that, I would probably go far enough to say that Pittsburgh would probably lose 3 out of those 4 games.
See, I don't do that because are you playing with the rules of the game today? A horrific flag.
Well, yeah, that was a really, really stupid play on that, or decision on that point. Personal foul.
They should have kept all the flags off the field. But if you're going to play, they're going to play that game, are you going to use all the quarterback protection rules and the offensive line can move after it's set and then still not be still rules? Or are you going to use the Pittsburgh rules where the steel curtain is going to literally smash Brady into the ground?
You know what? How about a blend of the two out of fairness?
Out of fairness.
Instant replay is obviously available what it is now.
Yes.
That sort of, hitting like that. I would probably go with part of the reason why I would probably go with New England being stronger than that 70s Pittsburgh team is because, frankly, the players are bigger. They're stronger. They're faster. They're tougher. You put them in the same uniforms, the same setup that way. That's fine. Same, protective gear. But you look at just how big these players are now. And even like I said, even the kicking game, you got kickers now that are bigger than like linemen were back in the 70s.
This is true.
Yeah. Yes, I dig these too. By the way, 4th down and 4 at the 39-yard line. Pittsburgh is going for it. They got about 15 yards of that back. But right now, this season, they've sucked on 4th down at 4 for 13. But I think it's a good decision, unless they try and get him to jump and then just take the timeout and punt. 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3, 2, 1. And I think it's underway. Roethlisberger's going to run for it. Chug, 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 chug. When he gets the first down.
So, I know you said they're bigger, but we all know Derrick Henry, monster, 6'3", 247, right? Franco Harris is an inch shorter and 17 pounds shorter, less. That's not that much smaller. Like, the offensive lines are different, but how big is Mean Joe Green's playing size?
Good question. Wait, Mean Joe Green, 6'4", 276. Yeah, okay, fair. Terry Bradshaw, 6'3", 218, which is a solid QB size.
Yeah. I think you're right about the offensive lineman. That's the biggest difference. I mean,
that would protect Brady in a better way. And also at the same time be able to the defensive line as well. I mean, Pittsburgh's offensive line probably wouldn't be able to hold, and Bradshaw will get sacked. And I think that's indicative of pretty much every strong, let's call it dynasty team. Even if you go against, like, say, LT and Carson, and that prime 80s team, would they be able to hold up against an offensive line like this? And we may be seeing Dwayne Haskins sooner rather than later. Ben Roethlisberger's right arm is in a ton of pain right now. And yes, they are indeed. Rest, yeah.
It better not be like the freaking Thanksgiving Cowboy game.
I was going to say whether 78 penalties between each side. Roethlisberger is sacked, and that's going to make a 3rd down and long. He's going to take some hits today. Yeah, I got to worry. You got to worry about his health.
No, we don't have to worry about his health. This is his last season. He's the ball.
But I guess that was a fumble. I guess the arm was coming forward, but I have no idea. I don't know if it's the same officiating crew. 3rd down and 18, though. That I do know. So ironically, they're right back where they were when they went for it on 4th down. So going to take it for the first time out of the game. But again, you got to wonder a little bit. Had Pittsburgh, Roethlisberger's walking with a bit of a limp too. Had Pittsburgh beaten Detroit, they'd be 7-5 and only a game out of first in that division. As they show a Baker Mayfield progressive commercial, which will be really kind of funny if he's not with that team next year. They'll have to do those commercials from wherever he lands.
Well, it'll be like what's his face on State Farm's commercials?
Jake.
He just keeps moving.
Yeah, Jake gets all kind of perks.
Looks like it was Sean Hockley's crew for the Raiders and Cowboys.
Okay, we like the Hockeys. So,
well, because we know them. And what's this week? What week is this? Week 14 now.
Yeah, week 14. Can you pull it up? So, but yeah, like I said, we like Sean Hockley, because obviously he's got the pedigree there. He doesn't have the muscles that his father had. His father was jacked.
I don't know if he.
You don't think so?
I'm just saying, I don't know that he doesn't have the muscles his father has. I think his
Okay.
father, we all knew he was jacked, so we all talked about it. But like, I don't know that he was so jacked that his son isn't as jacked, or that he was even any more jacked than any other NFL ref.
Mm. Yeah, I don't know. You basically, I remember, years ago, I was hanging out with him, and we just loved just talking about those arms, because it's just like,
Right.
on the
That's the thing. We talked about it so much that I'm like, okay, this looks like it's a different team. Looks like this is Kate Blanchett's team.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah. That's a woman who never ages.
Cleet Blakeman.
Okay, Blakeman.
Cleet Blakeman. All I get is one name.
Guy Fleegman from Galaxy Quest. I'm enough of a nerd, basically, when it comes to Galaxy Quest. I read the sequel comic, so Galaxy Quest is tied for my favorite comedy of all time.
Yeah, he was on that TB12 plan.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know if what was it, Sean Hockley?
Sean Hockley is jacked as his dad.
That's what you need to find out. No, he doesn't. Oh no, he totally isn't. He's got arms smaller than I got. That's fucking terrible. If your arms are tinier than what I got, it's pretty bad. So that's Sean. He actually looks kind of old too. I don't know how old the guy is, but supposedly Ed Hockley was like a lawyer during the week too.
Well, they were all other things during the week.
Yeah. Sean's 43 years old. Yeah. So what'd you guys talk about on the show? When I go back upstairs later, my wife will be like, so what'd you guys talk about? Muscle-bound men in uniform.
And I love how Fan Jackson knows everybody's body here. Yes,
exactly. Yeah. Hey, I did a push-up today. I'm proud of myself. Third down and 18.
I did not do any push-ups today.
What's that?
I didn't do push-ups today. Today was not push-up day. Today I was trying to get my Sean Hockley guns going.
Fair enough. With my schedule, I have a specific week number that I have to do. So 800 push-ups a week, 800 crunches, 800 bicep curls, 3,000 forearm curls is typically my weekly number. However I get it done, doesn't matter. If I got to do it at Sunday night at midnight, I'll get it done. But okay, well, good to know that. I'm not going to do it. So by the way, we're on another field goal right now, going deep, 49-yard on a 4th down and 11 for the possible first points of the game. The kick is up, and that one is also wide left. Not as wide as the other one, but still wide enough to not count. And I'd like to also point out, this is a dome. There's no wind here.
It's a good guy. I think these guys were playing in Buffalo on Monday.
Dude, oh my God, that was great. I freaking love that game. The whopping 14-10 final with Mac Jones throwing 3 passes and one person getting pissed off. It's like, why isn't he fucking passing?
We were watching that game, and there was a 3rd and long, and we were discussing. I'm like, oh no, he's going to run it because he's been running all game, and you're like, oh no, he's not, and he ran it, and it wasn't and after he ran it at that point, we were all just like, oh, so that's how this game is literally going to go for the rest of this game.
And I also think actually it's the shortest broadcast we had too. All of the games that we've done so far, I think it was literally the shortest one we had the entire run.
I'm sure too, and it was. It was after that 3rd and long run at the end of the first half, towards the end of the first half, that it went from, oh, he's been running a lot, to, oh, he's just going to run. Stop biting on play action, put 9 guys in the box and try to stop these dudes, because that's what it was. And if we knew it, how the heck the coaches didn't know it? And I think they did. It just couldn't stop it. It was a master class, and my 6 guys that kept putting an extra offensive lineman in the game are going to beat down your guys.
Which is such a really smart move too, because it's like you're telling them what you're going to do, but it opens up so many opportunities in the run game. Because obviously it just widens that offensive line that you don't know where that run's going to go to. And I loved it. I thought it was great.
And watch when they play again in a couple of weeks. The game's going to start with 6 men, six offensive linemen again, He's going to give them a chance to prove they can stop it. And the moment they do, the play action game is going to go crazy. It's going to be there. He's going to be like, all right, congratulations. You stopped us doing this. Complete change of strategy because I'm Bill Belichick and I change my strategy every week based on my opponent.
And it works.
And it works.
Like they've won 7 straight.
Yeah, it works. And it's amazing that works because, the other great coach in football history, Lombardi, it's like, we're just going to run this same play every game, every play for 12 games and win the championship. What? Yeah, just run it outside. Run it outside. And
they got the bye now. And then next week, they're playing on December 18th because they start the Saturday games on the 18th. Yep. And they're playing in Indianapolis. So that's going to be a good one.
Yeah, yeah, because you're not going to manhandle Indy. That's not. Yeah. There's other ways to beat Indy.
Yeah.
Because Indy was the team that put this playbook together that he took. He saw what Indy did to.
Really picked
these 2 kickers. Yes, we suck.
Yeah.
We're making you watch a game where the loser goes home and we both missed our kicks.
Exactly. Kicks that had the leg and then some, no wind, no real reason why it could have been missed. But by the way, the Patriots' last 4 games this season, they're in Indianapolis. They're at home against the Bills. They're at home against the Jaguars and then on the road against the Dolphins. There's 3 winnable games there. So that would bring their record to 12-5, which should in theory be enough to win the division. So Dalvin Cook with a huge run to the 30 to the 40, down that 30-yard line for Dalvin. Boy, if you have him on your fantasy league today, that dude is running away. Pun completely intended.
Well, so look, they're in a good spot, but they have two games in there that I would say are questionable games, right? They have can Buffalo come back and beat them, and can Indy beat them? But if they lose both those games and Buffalo wins out, who wins the division? Well, they'll split their series. Like you have to look at their division records and everything, kind of figure it out. I don't know offhand.
Patriots are a game and a half ahead, and they have the bye this week, so right. They'll have 2 weeks of rest by the time. Actually, just a hair under 2 weeks when they go up against Indianapolis.
But I'm not worried about. I'm just trying to figure out who's going to. So if they have a game and a half, that means there'll be if the Buffalo goes undefeated for the rest of the season. That includes a win against the Bills. It will catch them up this week. Will be the one game, the half a game, and the game. So, what are the 2 teams' division records? Like, it's possible that the Bills still control their own destiny, even with that loss.
Let's see. Yeah, let's find out the division record and also who the Bills are playing going forward. Let's see. All right. Yeah, basically. Interesting. The Pats are 3-4 at home, but 6-0 on the road. That's interesting. Both teams are 3-1. Conference record is 7-1 and 5-5.
Yeah, but that's easy. So again, if Buffalo goes undefeated, they will be giving New England its second division loss and will have a better record. So Buffalo still controls its own destiny. That's an interesting little fact there.
To a degree, yeah. Cousins going deep, and we got our first score of the game. We got a nice touchdown there and a nice spin on the football too. Justin Jefferson with a good little spin on that ball on the celebration.
Justin Jefferson threw it or caught it?
Caught it.
Okay.
So yeah, they're up 6-0. Good pass. He was wide open, and he is still dancing. Good.
The Eagles could have had him. Remember when we could have got him for injection? Who was that guy we got instead? Jalen Crapper.
Oh yeah, he totally ran that route perfectly. Oh, that was so well done. Now, this is also an extra point. This is a kick by the kicker. Let's find out how, Sorry, I'm trying to diss the guy here and doing a bad job at it. The kick is up, and he fucking missed again. Oh, fuck. God dumped the guy. Oh, dude. First quarter, you've already left 4 points off lost 4 points off the board.
Well, the 55-yarder, okay, but
that kick was dead center too. It was lined up dead in the middle, and he kicked it wide right.
So I'm watching on my iPad. I got this it's gone now, little dot on my iPad, piece of dirt. Didn't clean my screen off. And this dot starts on the foot when the kick is going, and the dot goes straight up into the uprights, and I keep losing the football on my screen because I'm watching the dot. Oops.
Wow. That is not how Greg Joseph wanted that game to go.
No. No, it is not.
No, sir.
But you can't always get what you want.
But if you try
sometimes,
you just might find
you get what you need. And just like that.
I feel like there's a song in there somewhere.
Yes. And just like that, we've been copyright banned.
That actually is only his. This is interesting. He has missed an extra point now each of the last 3 games.
Oh, and he's staying on the team. Isn't there some guy at NYFC they can pay 3 times as much as what he's making now to come kick a football for them? I think you're frozen this time. I don't know. So, yeah, missing 3 extra points in a row, 3 games in a row, that's a lot. I can't imagine how you can stay being an NFL kicker, but these are the things that happen. You know, the kicking game has totally changed with the moving of the kick back. It's changed every kicker's perspective. It's getting in their heads. It's driving down their longer kicks as well. So, although Joseph is not doing well, he's not out of the ordinary right now in the NFL. Well, he's extraordinarily out of the ordinary 3 games in a row. I'm sure that's some sort of record that if one of us was here to look things up could. But overall, kicking is down. And it seems to be the moving of the ball back to turning the kick into a legitimate kick and not a give me. And it hasn't increased to going for 2 the way you would think it would. Meanwhile, there is an uptick in going for a 4th down. That does make sense, actually, overall, despite what other coaches are saying. But you would expect with this obvious decrease in kicking proficiency for there to be an increase in going for 2. And there just hasn't been. It's been kind of surprising, if you ask me, that the kicking has continued to be poor, and the coaches haven't changed their strategies to match it. They're still acting like, hey, we're going to go for it. We're going to get the extra point. It's a give me, and they're not paying attention to what it is. So now here's Joseph, and it's obviously not a leg problem. Kicks the ball deep enough in the end zone for a touchback. So it's not about his strength. It's got to be up in the head, and he's still your kicker. You're not changing that up. You're not fixing anything up with that. So now you're dealing with a kicker who can't kick. He still has a boot on him, but not any accuracy. And away we go. Now, Pittsburgh definitely has to come back down the field. They look decent enough. They made some stupid penalties or dumb penalties were called, depending upon your opinion on that. We know how Van Jexer felt. And we'll see if the Steelers can go. They start off a nice 7-yard pass to Deontay Johnson. Handoff to Deontay Johnson around the end. Gets an open space. Makes nobody miss. But we get 7 yards. First down. Ooh. Way he fell. Got to be careful that nobody sees that and takes him off the field for concussion protocol. All right, so we're going to go in the huddle. Ben's going to come out. He's going to make a call on this play. And Ben's using is it because he's so old he can't remember that Ben's got to use the armband? Or are they just changing offenses so much on him that he has to do that, which is a little crazy for a guy who's been in the league that long. They're going to do that. Oh, another end around. This time, did he drop that? Are they going to call that fumble? That's a close play. Oh, refs are going to call the fumble. Reaching out for the first down. And Claypool drops the ball. I'll wait for the replay, see how I feel about that. Still has it. Knee has not. Down. I think he's down. I think they're going to say the calf was down. The knee was definitely not down, but I believe the calf counts. So we'll see what happens there. Definitely recovered by Minnesota. The knee's not down, but the calf is. And sometimes they remember that the calf is not the foot, and they're going to call him down. Other times they forget. We'll see what that goes with. This is the problem with being a team in desperation mode. Now, the good news is, if you can keep them from scoring a touchdown, they're not going to kick a field goal successfully, right? We know that. So if this is not overturned, which I think it is, because I think that calf was down. I think they're going to the calf or the shin was down. It's going to go on. It's going to turn it over. Looks like Westerns are making a comeback. I'm seeing on my TV a Western commercial. I just saw this Western with Cumberbunch. Something about the mysteries of the dog, the power of the dog. Now we have this one here with Sam Elliott, 1883 Yellowstone original. So I guess it's all just being driven by Yellowstone there for sure. But
so guess what I'll probably be asking for Christmas this year?
A new computer.
Yeah, I don't think my system can handle this one. I had to reboot the entire thing.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you. I don't have volume. What I was saying to everybody who's listening is that his knee was not down, but the calf and or shin, depending upon how you look at it, was down, and that should be enough to say he was down.
I think so, but I mean, here's the thing: I saw the replay on that as well, and I'm not totally convinced that wasn't a fumble. I have to watch it again. I was kind of in the middle trying to deal with this.
Right.
But
I think it's going to get overturned because I feel like the calf was down or shin. I keep calling it the calf because it's like the side of his leg. The side of the bottom of his leg looked like it hit before the ball came loose. So I think they're going to get the ball back and be able to hold on to this possession. But, boy, they don't feel confident running up the middle. They're running these jet sweeps.
You know, it's been a tough game for them to get going, too. And
play was reversed. So 2 yards for Claypool.
Oh, you got that back already?
I did.
Yeah, see, I'm live right now. I still have it up plugged for week 14.
Yeah, no. Well, I told you sometimes I can call the game using CBS because they will update many plays on time.
You're watching it that way. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm watching the drive chart on CBS has said it was over. Now, a few of the another thing about CBS, they also have some of the I guess maybe they're CBS writers. I don't know, but they beat writers in the area to show their tweets.
That'll do it.
So what are you gonna call it? See right there, that calf hits just before the ball leaves. There's the calf down. Good thing he doesn't skip leg day. He skipped leg day. That's a fumble.
And in this case here, basically they were still stopped on third down anyway. So it's going to be forcing them to have to punt. So, yeah, they were getting absolutely no game going.
Ooh, deep in the backfield. Yep. Deep in the backfield on that.
And I think even you'd have to agree they'd have to punt here. 2 minutes left to play in the first. A very slow moving first quarter. Also,
yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if my thing says they shouldn't punt, but this is where you're playing a team that hasn't looked quite ready on offense yet. So I'm going to probably punt this.
Yeah, they are.
But I could go either way. Like if he had
a good return too, picked up about 12 or 13 yards on that.
See, now what was the use of punting? But Presley Harvin, man, this guy's a monster.
Yeah, but like I said, that was a solid return, and in this case, Kirk Cousins is right back on the field again. Question in this particular case: if they end up missing the playoffs, do you start to wonder a little bit about Mike Tomlin's future over there?
No.
Okay.
No.
¿Por qué?
He's been too good for too long. He's done what he did last year when Ben went down, or maybe it was 2 years ago. We had a year that Ben went down. He was fantastic last year, even though they collapsed. He kept it together as things went crazy. No, I think he's a lot. And it's Pittsburgh. They don't get rid of coaches.
That's true. but pass over the middle for another first down and inside the 40 at this point. I mean, the record has been solid, but they haven't really advanced that far. They had an NFC or AFC championship run. I mean, 2010 was the last time they actually got to the AFC championship, and they won at that one, but lost the Super Bowl.
Okay, and now they have an old quarterback, but in that time since 2010, how many AFC championships involved a guy named Mahomes, a guy named Brady, a guy named Manning?
True. Oh, yeah, I don't disagree.
So it's like, if we're going to talk about how great some of these other guys are, we have to accept that other guys aren't as great, and no amount of coaching or is going to make a difference. And that's the thing. It's just not. You just have to get by those guys, and you have to be the lucky one to get by on the right year at the right time. And they're not, because those guys have been there against them. And it's the Steelers. They don't get rid of coaches.
But in this case here, it's also the players and the team responsibility to be able to beat these guys. And by the
So
way,
you look at your team, you make the changes you can make. So here's the thing. It is the team's responsibility to figure out how to do it. But is the way to do it to replace the cog that is working? Mm-hmm. Like, is it? Are you not beating them because your coach isn't good enough, or you're not beating them because the team isn't good enough? And if it's because the team and the players just aren't good enough because there aren't any other teams that are good enough, the quick reaction is to change the coach. And the reason you change the coach is because that's the thing you can change easiest, and it reinvigorates your fans. Pittsburgh doesn't need to reinvigorate its fans like that, because that's not what its fans need. Changing the coach a lot of times is about making the fans believe, oh, we have a chance, even though you're not going to change the players who are the reason you can't win.
Well, I'm looking at this right now. I mean, his record against Tennessee and a lot of the other teams is solid. New England, he's 4-7, granted, but against the Indianapolis Colts, he's 6-2. Packers 3-1. Do you want to take a stab what his record against Cleveland is all time?
A lot in 3.
Close. 25-2-1. So a lot 2-1. So
okay.
But ties are oftentimes considered losses in ways too. So a lot in 3 is pretty close in its own right.
Yeah.
But 24.
No, I knew it was super low loss. I mean, the flip side also is he's been, the argument you could make would be the reason he's been so good for so long is he's had Cleveland and Cincinnati in his division, and the only other team that was remotely real in his division was Baltimore all that time. Mm-hmm. So of course he has good records, and of course, he has an easier path and should be made. You could make that argument, but I don't think that what's broken is Tomlinson. I think what's broken is your quarterback is broken, and he's just old. He's broke. He's an old man, and there's nothing you can do about having an old man when you have an old man on your team. It just, they got to get through this, let him go, and then hope they can either bring in a young quarterback or old quarterback who's good, and just hope that works. So I don't think Tomlin's on the hot seat at all. It's Pittsburgh. That's the other thing. It's just Pittsburgh, and they don't play at the let's replace our coach just to replace our coach game. Because let me put it this way: Tomlinson was available. How fast? And he says only one team I can coach for is the New York Giants. How fast are you throwing Judge out?
Oh God, goodbye. No. It's like, thank you for your service. The door's over there. Oh yeah.
I mean, now here's the weird thing here in Philly, right? They did that with Andy Reid. Like, we're done. Guy didn't even take a year off. Went right to Kansas City. Went right back to AFC Championship games. I was thinking it. I don't think there's a single coach who has 4 quarterbacks who have started an AFC or a conference championship game for them. He's had 5 different quarterbacks, I believe, start an NFC a championship game for him. That's a lot of quarterbacks.
Here's the one thing. You mentioned the Giants, though. When the Giants got rid of, Ray Handley, and they brought in Dan Reeves, we were excited. And then we had one good year, and then it all went to crap after that. So you don't always know if the head coach is going to be able to resolve things. by the end, we couldn't get, the Giants could not wait to get rid of Dan Reeves. And then I think he went down to Atlanta after that.
Yeah.
But,
no, that is true. It's not always the coach either. Like I think you just got to give Tomlinson. I think what I think is Tomlinson has earned himself 2 or 3 years with a new starting quarterback of his choice. So if it's not of his choice, then I don't even if you're still struggling to find his guy. And I don't know, but I think he's earned 2 to 3 years of a new starting quarterback, especially if you can get him Rodgers or Wilson, or if he tells you Haskins is my guy or Rudolph is my guy. I mean, he's still got this dude Watt for 3 or 4 more years. Oh, just wreaking havoc all over the place.
Over the middle and off the fingertips and incomplete. So bringing up a 4th down and 10. But it's 4th down and 10. Do you bring your kicker in? Guess you have to. You're on the 20-yard line, but he's lost 4 points for you already.
Oof.
It's 4th down and 10. I think you don't have a choice here.
Oh, I would say most of the time I'm with you, but this kicker has been anything. That was my whole rant while you were disconnected. Man,
I would say give him another shot. One more try.
But the thing I said before, right before you left, is there's got to be a guy on whatever the Minnesota MLS team is. What?
That kick is good.
Yes. So I said there's got to be a guy on the MLS team who you can pay 3 times as much as he's getting to play MLS, who come out here and kick for you and give up his soccer dreams for the money now.
Exactly. Well, a lot of times, soccer players are good kickers that way.
Right.
Yeah. I had to do the press conference earlier today. It was a nice setup too. Better than I'm used to dealing with.
Oh, surprise, surprise. It's a championship game.
So I'm going to have an unheralded Joe Buck compliment here. I am digging that facial hair. Not a big Joe Buck fan, liking the facial hair. Yeah.
Okay. I don't have the Joe. Yeah, I think it's a distinguished look on him.
Yeah.
I'm not as much of a Joe Buck hater as the rest of the world. He doesn't bother me.
I find him boring. It's like he almost just doesn't want to be there. It's like he'd rather be doing something else.
He's understated. That's okay with me. Besides, at this point, I haven't listened to a game I've watched all season because I'm talking to you.
Well, I'm obviously much more entertaining, but
better looking too. Imagine if you had the facial.
Hell yeah, dude! I rock out my Cobra Kai Eagle Fang T-shirt here, man. As I'm rewatching seasons 1, 2, and 3. But all right, so you don't hate Joe Buck. Like I said, I find him like he doesn't want to be there, and I think that's what hurts it with me.
No, he definitely has people who there are definitely Joe Buck haters. I'm not going to even pretend.
Yeah, if we go on Twitter right now, what do we see in Joe Buck as far as some of the comments go? Didn't mean to do that there. Well, 25-yard line. Pittsburgh is now down 9-0. Roethlisberger back to pass. Roethlisberger back, and Roethlisberger takes a seat. Yeah. This is not looking good for Pittsburgh right now.
Hey, it didn't look good for 3 quarters last week. That's the other thing, right? That game should have been over, and then somehow old. I'm old. I just feel like, watching Ben play, I haven't, because I've seen a few games for Ben this season. Now, last year, Breeze only looked really old in the second half of his last game. He looked a little old the rest of the season, but really old the second half of the last game.
Pitch out for 2-3 yards.
Watching Ben this year is like watching Manning in his last year. It was just like, oh my, this guy should not be doing this anymore. This is not what he needs to be doing. He needs to find something else.
All right, looking at the Joe Buck tweets. Is it just me or Joe Buck finally stopped giving his resume every time he speaks tonight? Troy Aikman and Joe Buck can go suck a dick. Why is it so much fun to dislike Joe Buck?
Yeah, why is it so much fun? Like because I think everyone just likes him because he's like an easy guy to dislike. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not here to stand up and defend Joe Buck as the greatest thing since Swiss cheese. I just don't dislike the man. Now, Chris Collinsworth, on the other hand, has always been the least favorite of mine.
I see. I'd rather have him than Buck.
Yeah, I'm not a big Collinsworth guy at all. Of course, there's a difference because Collinsworth is the color and Buck is the so.
That brings up a 4th down and 16, and they're gonna have to punt again.
Just ugly football here for this team.
Yeah, and they have opportunity to go down. Man, that's a big freaking punter.
Yeah, that's what I said before. He's huge,
dude. Who is that? What is his last name? Marvin.
I just had it up here. Hold up. I love watching him punt. He's huge.
Killer punter.
I had pictures of him and everything. Presley Harvin. Yes.
Presley Harvin the third. Oh gosh, boy, that's not Ivy League to you. Presley Harvin the third. Yeah, he's 6. Oh my God, he's 6 foot 256.
Yeah, that is not.
That is a big punter. That's like Jared Lorenzen, size. Whoa.
I think Jared Lorenzen was a little taller, but they had the same body build. Yes.
Yeah.
But go check out his images. He wasn't always this big.
No, I'm seeing a few of them. He wasn't quite as bad, but
no, I mean, like I think what I was looking at was his combine picture. He was a monster of a different sort in there.
Well, this is not a exactly flattering picture of the young man while he was in college. His calves are nice, though. I'll give him that.
Oh, no, so it must not be the.
Yeah.
Who the heck is this guy? Who's also Presley Harvin?
Yeah, there's a couple Presley Harvins. Maybe Presley Harvin the second.
Just not Presley Harvin the third. Presley Harvin shows off his directional punting skills. Oh, so the headline is, but this is not a picture of him. That's what's going on. The picture is not of him. It's just at the same combine. Because the picture doesn't match the headline. Georgia Tech. What's your favorite?
Oh, that's right. West Side Story comes out tomorrow, doesn't it?
I guess. When does this Facts of Life thing happen? Or did I miss it?
Oh, Facts of Life. Yeah, Facts of Life Live. But that's the one with like John Lithgow, I think, right?
I believe so. I don't know who. I know Mrs. Dwayne Wade's in it, or did they get divorced? Whatever. But she's in it.
It actually aired on 2 days ago. Okay, good.
I was trying to watch it because so Jimmy Kimmel did something afterwards. I don't know if you saw it in the and the girl the woman who plays Blair looks exactly the same. Let me put it. So I saw the headline that she looked exactly the same, and then they showed a picture of her, and the picture was her in the outfit from the show, like in a schoolgirl outfit. So I thought that was the picture of her from her times in the show. I was like, well, where's the other picture? Then I saw the picture of her with Kim Fields.
Well, yeah, she's aged well, too.
She's aged well, but not compared to this other woman who looks 20 still. Like 20. I was like, whoa.
Lisa Welchel, I think is the name you're looking at.
Yes, Lisa Welchel.
Oh, yeah, look at that. She's even got like that 80s feathered hair going on too, which I kind of
I mean, she intentionally. I mean, obviously she's dressed up like Blair, so there's that to it. But my goodness, she looks exactly like. Well, this is actually more of a picture where she looks like closer to her age. Like if you see the of her when she was on Fallon after the show, or Kimmel, whichever one she was on. That's the other thing. I think it was Fallon. There was a TikTok that went viral.
It was on NBC, so
where he was interviewing a woman who was talking about the famous woman who was sitting next to her on the plane. And I was like, I don't know who either of these people are. The person he's interviewing, who I think is more like the animal person that he brings in, like not a particularly famous person.
Cousins with another completion, by the way. I just want to point that out.
Oh, good. I don't have the game back yet, or I would be back on it. No, Oh, the Jefferson again for 22 yards. Yes. Fantasy points. 3 more fantasy points. 3 points. Three.
Good. So, Dalvin Cook with 73 yards in the first quarter and some change. And a pitch out again to Dalvin Cook, and again he takes off and first down and nearly broke a touchdown there. Oh my God, he is pun completely intended running away with this right now. Kim, pretty sure basically both of us may be wrong with our predictions there. The predictions down there.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I thought Dalvin was out of the game. The headline must have come across saying he was playing, and I must have read it as he wasn't playing. Well, I know how I read it.
I had greater hope in Ben Roethlisberger than I had in Kirk Cousins. And I'm beginning to think the error of my ways.
But I did call it on our video, which is recorded forever. I said the reason I'm taking that the Cousins who we've seen all season is the Cousins going to play.
Yeah, I haven't looked at the numbers on that yet. I probably should.
Last I looked, there was one view, and it was my own.
Oh, bollocks. Well, yeah, I got to start promoting the hell out of that. No, it's actually been better.
Any comments yet?
Not since I oh, you mean here or there? No, nothing there. I think I want to talk to Josh about using the other one though. The picture with us, with the whole kind of like this picture's better. And I think I told him that the pictures of us were a much better thumbnail. So he said he'll go back to them. Like I thought he was over last night. We watched the Sixers. Sixers won. Woo-hoo! So, but I said to him during that conversation that the pictures of us are better, more exciting, more enticing. And your Philadelphia team lost to my New Jersey hockey team.
Oh,
which now, by the way, have shoes to match the new alternate black jersey.
Nice.
The shoes also say jersey on there, so they don't say shoe.
See, now that would be a good joke,
dude. Here's the basically an alternate jersey is bad when their team, the official team Twitter and Facebook and Instagram are trolling it. They actually created souvenir hats. The hat said hat in the same logo. The shoes said shoe. The Devils, like their social media page, realized basically how bad this was and started mocking its own thing.
Well, when Gritty wasn't supposed to be a scary lunatic creature, but he's a crazy and like that. Okay, we'll go with it. Like that's how the fans reacted. We'll just go with it.
Cook to the 20, cook to the 10, and cook for 6.
No. You're supposed to knock it in the end zone and make him throw it to Jefferson. He only needs another 33 yards to get another bonus.
The man's over like 100 yards already, for cripe's sake.
Oh, I'm sure the guy who's carrying Cook just got who's that? Dancing on the Thielen.
By the way, I just want to point that out. Yeah, that's from the New Jersey Devils social media page. So, all right, Joseph with the extra point attempt, and he's nailed that one. All right, I think he's back on track again. That kick.
That's a nice. Cook slowed down, saw the guy had the angle on him, and kicked it into gear and scored.
But Kirk Cousins 7 for 12, 194 yards and a touchdown. Dalvin Cook is a 6 for 8. That hasn't even updated yet. 6 for 8, 6 rushes, 88 yards before that 20-something yard touchdown run. Damn.
No, I got 88 for, I don't have the touchdown yet here either. 7 for 117, 1 touchdown, 30 yards was his longest.
This is one of those. Remember a few weeks ago when Jonathan Taylor gave me 51 points in my fantasy league? This is the same kind of thing that's going to be happening here.
But the crazy thing is you got Cook go 7 for 11, and meanwhile you got Jefferson go 5 for 67. Like you have two weapons on this team if you are the Minnesota Vikings in general. You have Cook, you have Jefferson, and then you hope somebody else will pick it up any given game. Both of those weapons are firing full bore.
He's coming into this game. He's at 773 yards rushing and 4 touchdowns. So now he's almost at 900 yards already, and he's already at 5 touchdowns. His yards per game average this year is 85.9, and he's got over 100 yards in the first half.
And Jefferson, since we're talking, has 1,200 yards coming into the game, averaging 15 and a half yards per reception, and has 7 touchdowns. So he's also just. These are 2 really good weapons that any offense would want. And if you are a Vikings fan, there is like this outside chance that Irv Smith comes back in time for the playoffs, and that gives you that third weapon that your quarterback needs. And all of a sudden, you have a chance. Now, I just don't see it happening. I think the Washington football team might sputter. A lot of people are saying they're going to go ahead and beat the Cowboys. So,
no, I don't think so.
Time will tell. But if they do lose to the Cowboys, that gives you another game that you get to catch up on the football team. And so you win this game, which it looks like they're going to do. Not with
still early yet, though.
Yeah, because I'm early, so I don't want to have my foot in my mouth. But then you're at 6-7, and if either the 49ers or the football team loses, you're in the thick of it again. Like, what is it? 3, 4, 6 and 7 would tie you with the Eagles. So that's 6 teams, right? I think it's what we talked about. Are all right there. All right there. Whoever this ref is, by the way, number 10, he's kind of buff himself. He's no Ed Hockley, but
we're back to that again, are we?
Well, I just saw the guy splitting up the fight on my screen. Like, he's big too. I mean, it's possible that the assignment changed from my website. Here we go.
There we go. Send that out.
Ooh, flag.
Yeah, another flag on the play. So flip that over to the Steelers there. Big Ben, 4 for 6, 34 yards, but the rushing game has been anemic, I think is a good word here.
Yes, every time they try to go up the middle, it's been stopped. So they started going outside with Deontay Johnson. That didn't really help either. Claypool, Johnson, they're just not getting it done. Ooh. And then the personal foul, that's not going to help.
That's not going to help at all. That's bad. Okay. There we go.
So that whole 15 yards they had that they got, they lost.
The only benefit is it's still first down and 10. But they picked up 3 yards on that. And Roethlisberger is now 5 for 7 for 37 yards, maybe.
I'm talking about the 15 yards they got on the kickoff. They had the 15
I
yards.
know, but I'm saying at least it's not a first down at 25.
Yes.
That's the only benefit there. So.
Right. So I'm saying exactly. We're saying the same thing. It was totally just an offset of that 15-yard penalty that they had gotten.
But Pittsburgh's got to make something happen here too.
Absolutely.
And you got to get some momentum. You got to get some energy going. Pitch out to the side, and no, he's not going anywhere. God, is that Najee Harris? Yeah. He lost about 2 or 3 yards on that too. And that's going to set up like a 3rd down and 9. So this brings back the question, if Pittsburgh starts losing on badly, do you bench Roethlisberger and see what Haskins has to offer?
Harris and and Cook both had 770 yards coming into the game.
Mm-hmm.
So
pretty sure there's a difference now between the two at this point.
there's definitively a difference. Although Harris has a much lower yards per carry.
Oh, I think anybody would have
carried less.
And oh my God, Ronald was Roethlisberger's sack, but that hit was hard, and I think he's slow to get up. Oh, he got smashed from behind. Holy shit, that was a bad hit.
Of course, he's slow to get up. It was 3rd and 7. He's like, I'll just stay down. Ooh, yeah, the whole.
Yeah, Smith hit him hard blindside.
Yep. Yeah. The thing is now, so here's the thing about football. Like, that's not a hit that they're going to concussion protocol you on. But yeah, total whiplash. Like that right there is whiplash. Look at that.
And also that helmet pretty much went right into Roethlisberger's shoulder.
Yeah. Well, there's a pad back there that catches. Like it's
somewhat, yes. But still, that's
when I was playing, it was impossible to touch your helmet to your like you could not do it. You always hit your pads. Now it's possible that he has smaller pads because he's a quarterback and I was a big fat offensive lineman, but
yes,
obviously some guys had the neck collar to prevent that.
But yeah, I mean, looking at that kind of hit and basically what happened to Roethlisberger, this is exactly what he was talking about earlier in the week when he's like, I hate Thursday night games because I don't have the time to recover from Thursday or from Sunday. And immediately I'm going right back out. Now he's taking these hits and he's not physically 100%. And he's taking hits like this and they're bad. I mean, he's getting killed right now.
That's a hit that you feel for a week.
Oh, boy. You might feel that one for a hell of a longer.
So I'm watching, here we go. A little Twitter. Mark Craig on Twitter. Roethlisberger might move his retirement up to halftime.
Yeah, right.
So.
Yeah, right now, I was going to say Pittsburgh is 1 for 6 on 3rd down.
3 and out.
Yep. Three sacks at this point, too. And again, barely halfway through the second quarter.
Yeah, this is painful if you're Ben.
Oh, yeah. And honestly, if you're me, just looking at it, I feel bad for the guy too. I mean, granted, I hurt my knee when I get off the toilet, but yeah, for people in infinitely better shape, you know how bad that's got to be.
Infinitely better and feels like infinitely younger, but
he's not that much. What is he? 37, 38?
That's a lot younger. It's a decade.
Yeah. It's kind of funny when basically 38 was, about the same age or older than you were.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. In some ways, 38 and 48 are not different. Like if I run into a 48-year-old on the street, there's a good chance they have kids. Some of them have kids who are older than mine. Most of them have kids who are a little younger than mine, or like their oldest is the same age as Mike. So, like, there's a lot of in common stuff I can talk about with them. But when it comes to your body, that 10 years is enormous. Like that.
Yeah. I'm happy. Here's the thing. I'm happy to say that I'm younger physically now than I was, say, 20 years ago. A lot of the injuries that I had have kind of gone away, and I'm in better shape now than I was back then. But there are still times where sometimes you just hear something and it just goes, and you just know that that's out of commission for a while. Cousins back to pass over the middle and incomplete. I don't think there'll be a flag on that.
I always say, I'm at the age. How old are you? I'm at the age where one injury and no. When someone asks me how old I am, the age where one injury heals when something else hurts.
Well, the worst that I ever had was herniated discs. I'm not sure basically where you were at, but I had 3 bouts of that in my life. And I tore a rotator cuff. Herniated discs is worse. And that, oh my God, the amount of pain, because there's no place you can sit that's comfortable. Dalvin Cook, by the way, takes the ball and he only got 9 on that, by the way. So they were able to stop him from short of the first down this time. But yeah, that is the worst pain ever in my mind.
All right. Now, dislocated elbow, frozen shoulder.
Got this hangnail too.
Those are my big ones.
So
and pulled my groin. That never healed right.
They never actually the pulled groin, pulled any muscle never really heals 100%.
Yeah.
By the way, yards per play, Pittsburgh 1.8, Vikings an even 10. And incomplete on that. He was wide open, but that ball was badly passed. Might have been tipped too. I'm not sure, but it does bring up a 4th down and 1 around midfield.
You got to give this to the way Dalvin Cook. The way you've been playing, you have to give it to Dalvin Cook. This isn't
more
really
than agree
enough.
on that. I mean, your accomplishment as Pittsburgh is you were able to keep
duck from the get-go.
Yeah. Oh, that was it slipped off his fingers badly. Jefferson made a good effort though. He almost had pulled out an Odell one-handed catch.
Jefferson right now is feeling like Diggs did a few years ago. Like, come on, man.
Yeah,
that's the second pass. You've had me.
They're going to go for it, and yeah, obviously you don't do anything but give it to Dalvin Cook. The man is nope. Cousins actually sneak but he picked up 2 or 3 out of it. So
okay, well,
also not the worst idea there, but it
gets. The thing is, you have Cook, so now it's that's the thing, right? You don't. I'm not gonna say that it was the wrong play that worked. You have Cook. That's what they're keen on. But for 1 yard, if your offensive line is blocking this well, which it is,
yes,
then make sure they get pushed back for 1 yard.
They're getting pushed. Yeah, the phrase is they're getting pushed, and they are. Total yards this quarter: Vikings 100, Steelers -10. Cook with the run. Cook only picks up 3 on that, but he sucks.
That might be his worst run of the game.
That brings him up to 126 yards. Well, actually, probably about 129 yards at this point because this hasn't updated yet. But 6 minutes left to play. Pittsburgh has 2 timeouts remaining. Minnesota has all 3, so they can run this clock and have some fun with it and keep giving the ball to Dalvin Cook and open up a play action if you need to. Yeah, they can pull a lot of it.
Yeah.
Go ahead, sir.
No, a whole lot of this is just because at this point you're still passing because one of the things is whatever you score in the first half, they can score in the second half. But however many points it is, that means that's legitimately a certain amount of points that other team can score in their half of the game because you can play just as badly and they can play just as good. So you have to play in the first half, with the clock as your not worrying about the clock as your friend or your enemy. You just play.
Yeah, and right now they picked up a 12 or 13 there. So faster moving second quarter than first quarter inside the 30-yard line. 5:15 remaining. And give the ball to Dalvin Cook. And they're starting to zone in on him a little bit. This may sound weird, but he's only gotten 4 yards in the last 2 rushes.
So so as we were talking about, they were never able, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys in the box, 6, 7, 8 guys in the box for this play. 5 down and 3 standing. So that's fine for the Vikings because Jefferson's going to catch the ball eventually. He's been open all game, and if you have 8 in the box, he's going to be wide open. So, yeah, the Vikings have got to be happy. Yes, sure, you can stop Dalvin, but we're not playing with New England's strategy.
Going for broke, and wow, nobody open right there. Yeah, 3rd down and 10. Yeah, it's going to be an obvious pass play, but they are borderline. They are pretty much in field goal range.
All right, so 8th guy sneaks up, but he's covering somebody. Total miscommunication, or he just got rid of it to be safe. I can't tell.
But I mean, if Greg Joseph has gotten it back up and running again, which it seems like he has, after that missed field goal and missed extra point, he has hit the last 2. But you're at the 28-yard line. That would make a 45-yarder if it was a kick from here. And a timeout is called. 4:28 remaining. And figure out what they want to do with this. So, as for all of y'all, if you got any thoughts, comments, questions, anything like that, drop us a comment. For those of you on Facebook, those of you on Twitch right now, especially you guys right now, drop us a question. Any thoughts, questions, complaints? If you like his hat, if you hate my shirt, let us know in the comments. I'm all down for it.
Why is TJ Watt on the bench?
Yeah, maybe he's not feeling 100%. Let's see. What do we know about Mr. Watt? All right.
You know what? I could do steady.
3rd down and 10. Cousins back over the middle, and they pick up the first down. Jefferson with another one. And it was about 11 or 12-yard game. I'm sorry, that was Osborne. My bad. Picks up 11 or 12 yards on that, and they're continuing to roll.
They are saying he is questionable.
All right.
That's good right now.
That's going to kill that defense, too, because the defense is
because he was the one thing that was
yeah. And the worst part of this is it's been so heavily dominant with Minnesota holding on to the football right now. Yeah, I mean, if you look at those numbers right there, 231 yards to 38.
Oh, I mean, this is what happened. This is the exact reverse of what happened against them.
Yeah.
With last week with Baltimore losing all its defensive backs during the game. If you're going to be losing your players, that's a whole different thing. And boom, Cook, part of the defense. But defenses seem to have decided they're content trying to stop Cook. You got to wait for the play action now to start coming on first down.
Yeah, 2nd down and 8, 3 minutes and 9 seconds left. Yeah, you can burn a lot of this clock right now because Pittsburgh's down to their only one timeout left. Cook over the middle, and he picks up about 6 or 7 on that. Brings it down to about about a yard away on 3rd down. Too far away for a quarterback sneak, but you can still burn a hell of a lot of clock here.
Well, again, I don't think they're trying to burn clock. I mean, it's the first half. You're just trying to score.
Well, you don't want to give – here's the thing. You don't want to give Ben Roethlisberger the ball.
Are you kidding me?
Listen, you know what he's capable – listen, he's had a shit game, but you know he's capable of turning it around. That's what I'm saying. Burn the clock. You got the –
I don't think you play scared here. I think you get this ball in the end zone. As a matter of fact, you get this ball in the end zone before a 2-minute warning, you might get the ball back. I think you're going to play
well, and we're going to find out because they just got the ball into the end zone. Dalvin Cook with another touchdown.
All right. So, well, I mean, we'll find out if they can, but what we did see is that they're just playing. They're just going for it.
Oh, they just went. Highlighted Tomlin right there. He is a pissed head coach right now. Down 22 to nothing. Down 22 to nothing in the first half. This is not how I expected this to go. I figured Pittsburgh would at least show up.
What happened? That's what he said.
I know. And in this case,
1, 2.
I mean, Roethlisberger took that hit, so he might not even be 100%. They've got one timeout, 2:20 left.
They have 8 men in the box.
That kick is good too.
Safety gets smashed out of there. Then the guy who was not in the box from the other side of the field comes across, makes the hit before the end zone, and doesn't tackle him.
Yep. 167 yards, most and a half in the NFL this season. It is the Dalvin Cook show. Thank you very much.
Yeah, they don't want any part of Dalvin Cook right now. Damn.
Yeah. He's got 144 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns. So my league would be 26 points. Okay, all right, no catches though. So all right, so 26 points for a first half. That's not too bad if he's on your fantasy team. You could do worse.
Yeah.
That look says it all. Pittsburgh is just an unbridled shock right now. I mean, percentage-wise, they didn't really have much of a chance to make in the postseason anyway. But this is not the egg you expected them to drop.
So in my ridiculous scoring system league, he's got 41 points.
Okay. Yeah, because you get more if it's like a long break or a long run with a touchdown or something like that.
You get 1 point for every 10 for 100 yards. And once you break 100 yards, you're every 100 yards, you get 6 points, and then your rate of return on yards increases. So I don't even remember what it is. Plus the 2 touchdowns, plus 5 first downs. You get a point for every first down you get. So, yeah.
Actually, here's the Steelers headlines that we're just talking about in this case. This doesn't warm up Tomlin's seat. What will? Steelers need to commit to a rebuild, and changes can be coming from the Steelers. These were just articles in like the SI and things like this, because the era is coming to an end.
So I'd like to commit to a rebuild. I don't think that's about Tomlin, but yes, I agree. This is.
Yeah, but I mean, who knows? I mean, if they have a rebuild, kind of like New England had, which was more of a reload.
Yep. Right. That's the thing. Like if you get rid of the old quarterback, you give him a young quarterback, then what does he do? Then you can judge him on whether you should get rid of him. You can't. I mean, your eyes and my eyes, we're seeing the same thing, right? We're seeing a great quarterback who's playing like he's 90.
Yeah. And they just ran the ball and picked up a flag, which may be holding. I'm not sure.
Which would be a killer.
Personal foul on the defense, though. All right.
All right, that's great because instead of losing the first down
horse collar tackle looks like
instead now you get the clock stopped ish.
Yeah,
so time to run a play before that was a great.
Yeah, and now you're at the 40-yard line or 50-yard line. No, yeah, right at the 50-yard line at this point.
Horse collar, yep.
Yeah, Vikings have had a lot of penalties though. 6 penalties, 60 yards. That ball is tipped and nearly been intercepted. Pittsburgh almost turned the ball over. Damn. Yeah. Oh, this is, like I said, this is ugly. 2-minute warning. But when you're Mike Tomlin, what the hell do you say in the locker room? Yeah. What the fuck are you doing? Yeah, this is. And we were talking about this being a dull game too.
Well, yeah.
It's always a dull
game. In a way, it's a dull game because if they don't score here, anything worse. If they don't score anything here, and then the Vikings get up 30-0, this game's over.
Yeah.
If they, so it really
gets the ball back second half.
This game has become officially dull. Harris will probably not Harris. They may even pull Cook and let Madison put the game to rest, which is funny because so in the game where a guy has Cook right now, he also has Madison, and it is plausible that Cook's day is done. Like he was.
I think it's too early at this point. I think he probably needs. I mean, if you go up by 30 and it's midway through the third quarter, I would say maybe. But I think it's still only a 3-touchdown game. Only. See what happens when Pittsburgh gets the ball second half.
You can pull Cook without pulling him, right? You can let Madison
take the workload, sure.
Take the workload. And be like, okay, all right. Cook goes in on the first, is on first down. Madison gets every second, third, and third. So Cook stays warm, or you take Cook out on first downs and you put him back in on third. Because Madison himself has run the ball for 20 yards already. It's not like they haven't had him in for a drive, 3 rushes for 20 yards. He's not having a shady day either by any means. So yeah, there's plenty of ability to sort of ease Cook out.
Yeah.
If you want to, because again, I thought he was hurt coming into this game.
I don't think so. Jags, Titans, Raiders, Chiefs, Saints, Jets, Ravens, Browns. By the way, speaking of Ravens, Browns, Baker Mayfield has 11 touchdowns this season in 11 games, and like 212 yards passing on average. That is very pedestrian.
Yes. So 13 hours ago, Dalvin Cook was trending towards playing. Limited participant with questionable game status.
Najee Harris stays in bounds like it's a 2 or 3.
Yeah, his return was significantly ahead of schedule.
Which was funny because probably he got benched by a lot of fantasy players today because they had no idea what to expect.
So there was an announcement that came across the wire. Because I don't have Dalvin Cook, I must have read it wrong. But that came across at 3 or 4. So those folks who care got him in their lineups for sure. So I'll check my 5 leagues.
It didn't make a difference to me, but I ended up benching Kyler Murray because I wasn't sure, and I put in Matt Ryan instead. I still won by like 35 points, so it wasn't any big deal on my side of the fence. But I lost out on about 18 points that I would have gotten back had I put Kyler Murray in there or been fast enough to realize he was going to play. Still got my win, but those points would have been important to me. But second down at 17 for Pittsburgh at this point, 1:52 left, 1 timeout, and they are at the 42-yard line. Roethlisberger back, pass over the top, and picked up like 3 or 4 yards, maybe like 6 yards, but brings up a third down and 11 out of bounds. Boof. But like you said, if depending on how this may go, Minnesota may get the ball back with a chance to be up for flipping touchdowns.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the question is, do you turn it into a 2-minute passing offense, or do you continue to have Dalvin Cook run the ball?
I think if you get the ball back, you go for it with Jefferson. You have him, you use him as your weapon. True. By the way, my league's 5 for 5.
Ooh. And another hit on Roethlisberger. Holy crap. Brings up 4th down, but that was another hit. I don't know. It was Hendricks that came in, but was he even touched?
Nope. Not touched at all. And he came from on the line. Like, that's just a completely misread line move. Like,
not as bad as the hit by Osborne, but still, he has taken a lot. This is 4 sacks in the first half alone.
I mean, yeah, he was on the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
So look at that. Now you got 4th and 20. So Minnesota used the timeout to get the ball back with 1.5 minutes left, give or take, and 2 timeouts. So I don't know if you caught it. So in my leagues, the Dalvin Cook, now granted, I played a level of seriousness. Dalvin Cook was 5 for 5 getting started.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know about mine. I don't even know who has him in this one.
Oh, I just looked at who had points this week, and you can see who the Justin Jefferson, Dalvin Cook, and Kirk Cousins owners are. Just look at your scoreboard.
All right, so Blockman can punt. Has him today. It's funny. For this particular game, Yahoo gives him a 1-star rating out of 5.
Dalvin Cook.
Yeah. So basically, they're recommending bench him today.
Yeah, because it was a shoulder injury. He was supposed to come back till December 20th. Like, he's 2 weeks early. Like he was not supposed to play. I told you I made my prediction against the spread on that fact. Again, I apologize to anyone who heard that because I made it with the idea that the thing that came across my wire was that he wasn't playing, when in fact it was that he was playing.
Yeah, the guy that actually
that's how convinced I was he wasn't playing. That I didn't bother to read it. I'm like, oh yeah, they're just reminding me that he's not playing. I'm not a Dalvin Cook owner. If I was, I would have responded to it differently, I'm sure. I would have been like, all right, what's the actual news? But
in my league, yes, he was starting. Yeah. And the guy, it's a 3rd place guy, so he's ahead of me in the standings right now. So I'm kind of hoping he didn't start him because, yeah, that guy's a beast to play against. But here we are, 3rd down and 10. Clearly a passing situation. One more try at it. But they may have to be forced to punt for the first time, I think, tonight.
Yes, the first drive they missed the field goal, but I do not believe they punted.
Yeah, so right now, 57 seconds. They have not handed the ball off to Cook in this case, but they are right now. Never mind.
Yeah, I was going to say, now they're going to hand off to Cook to run the clock down. Make Pittsburgh either use their timeout or because I would, as the Mr. I never punt, I also would have played this. I would have played this, I think, exactly the same way. 2 shots at a big play. Didn't happen. Let's run the clock down. Maybe Cook does something. Oh, wow.
Yeah. And he picked up 8 or 9. He made it interesting.
Yeah. But clock, game situation, I'm punting. This game situation says, get the ball off. We've been dominating Pittsburgh. They have no timeouts. Put the ball in Ben's hands because that's where I want it. I want the ball in Ben's hands right now.
But here's the big number: 13 dropbacks, 4 sacks, 5 knockdowns. So on about 2/3 to almost 3/4 of the times he's gone back, he has actually taken a hit.
And that doesn't count the ubiquitous pressures. So who knows of those other 4 if he's been pressured or not. So they are getting to him.
Also, Pittsburgh just ran into the kicker, but I don't think they're going to call it. And they might have actually pushed a lineman into him, but that would have been one of the absolute stupidest penalties you could have taken right there, because that would have given Minnesota the first down if that flag was thrown.
Ooh. But what about that tackle?
Yeah. 44 seconds left. Pittsburgh is trailing by 23.
I can't believe. Now, I'm not talking about on the kicker. Did you see what they did to the gunner?
Yeah. Yeah, they hit him hard. So, Roethlisberger 6 for 9 for 45 yards. Hug it, chug it, football. Quarter Zach Amiri, since we were talking about Seth Rogen before the show. Over the middle, picks up.
They are averaging, 7 yards? I can't even do math. 9 goes into
it was 6 yards.
5 yards an attempt.
Yeah. Or no. Yeah, you're right. 5. Sorry. Well, they just upped that a little bit, so now it's 5.1. There you go. 21 seconds left, though. And a flag.
Going to say he got out of bounds. No, they didn't. They didn't get out of bounds.
No, I don't think he did.
No, I didn't think he did.
He tried. But
tried.
Okay, what do we got now? False start. The offense, I believe.
That was definitely fine. You told me, yeah. That's one of those, like, it's so interesting watching the game with you because, like, all right, there was a flag. So now, like, oh, that was definitely a false start. All right, there was a fumble. There was a great. Did the ball get tipped? Oh no, it did not get. Like,
yeah.
The questions
I'm
you
giving
have,
you
like,
a preview ahead of time here. So
I'm looking for the answers on your questions. It's very interesting doing this on the delay.
11 seconds left. 10 seconds. 9. They might. I'm not even sure they're gonna get a playoff.
No, like I said, where did you want the ball?
Do it.
All right, I know there's only 2 of us, but I'm going to.
Actually, sorry.
Yeah.
Yes. So I will close him out. Okay, so we're going to break down a couple of stats. We're going to swing this guy over here. We're going to basically do it just like that. Just like that. If you look at those numbers right there, that is a very telling sign. Dalvin Cook, 14 rushes, 153 yards, 2 touchdowns. So if he's on your fantasy league, you should be very, very happy right about now. On the other side of the fence, if you're looking at Pittsburgh, Ben Roethlisberger, 7 for 10 for 51 yards. And Najee Harris, who had the same amount of yards, about the same this season so far coming into this game, still 9 seconds left. Never mind. As Cook had, is currently 7 carries, 17 yards. So this is a massive, massive difference and something none of us expected in this particular game. I had predicted, probably rather stupidly, that Pittsburgh was going to win because of Ben Roethlisberger's record on the road is a very impressive, I believe, 74, 45, and 1. He has a better road record than Kirk Cousins has at home. Pass over the middle, and that's going to be a tackle. It's going to end the first half. That'll pad Ben Roethlisberger's stats, but it's not going to make a whole heck of a lot of difference there. But they're getting the ball back to start the second half. Pittsburgh is going to have to make something happen because you're 3 touchdowns down. You need to pull something out, and you are making your soon-to-be Hall of Fame quarterback look very, very old and in a hell of a lot of pain. They've sacked him 4 times. They've hit him 5 times. And I don't care how old you are or in what kind of good shape you are. That shit's going to hurt. So anyway, drop us a thought. Drop us your ideas on this case. What do you guys think is going to happen here? Can this team can Pittsburgh turn it around? They're down 23. You know, this is a team that is a must-win situation. At 6-5-1, they are barely hanging on to a playoff spot as it is. And we talked about this earlier in the show. Pittsburgh tying the Lions in that game is suddenly playing a huge, huge factor because at 7-5, it's a lot closer than 6-5-1. They're a game and a half out of first place right now. That would be only a game, a lot more manageable. So that tie is going to be a massive, massive problem. But right now, like I said, we're going to the second half pretty soon. There we go. Obi, there was a pass over the middle with 9 seconds left. It didn't amount to a whole hell of a lot.
Okay.
But they didn't actually run the clock out. It was just an easy pass over the middle.
Oh, the fire move. That's good for me. That was too. Hey.
You know, I take the points. You know, but we are going. It's a very slow pace at this point, as we're an hour and 40 minutes into the first half. This game could easily run to like 11:30, maybe midnight tonight, depending on how it goes.
So, I heard you while I was out talking about the tie.
Yes.
And football is a strange sport because ties are so infrequent, but they happen enough that we never know how to talk about them in the standings. I heard you. You were talking about how this tie hurt them a little bit because they could have had 7 wins. You could just as easily have been talking about how it helped them because they could have had 6 losses. Like, we just don't have the language for ties properly in football. We just don't.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
I'll wait till I
for
finish.
Detroit, we're like, it don't matter. They suck.
Mm-hmm.
The tie doesn't do anything for them. If anything, it helps them because they want as bad a record as possible. They didn't get the win. Like, we know how it works for Detroit. But for the Steelers, 7 wins is probably where you need to be right now because of how everybody else is. But you don't have 6 losses, so you're ahead of the Browns.
Here's my take on this. Now, that game should have been a loss. Detroit had the chance to easily basically win that game, but they missed a field goal in overtime. But my take on this, when you have a 17-game season, a tie works out more as a loss than I think it does as a win. Because there's so much when it rides on, how many losses a team has. You look at somebody, we talked about this earlier with the Patriots and the Bills. The Patriots, if they end up winning, if they lose 5 games, they win the division, which means they have the flexibility to lose 1 more. I think, like I said, I think to me, with a short season like this, a tie hurts you more than it helps you.
No. By the way, what we were saying is the Patriots cannot lose 1 more if that game is to the Bills and the Bills go undefeated.
But I'm saying if the Patriots go 11-5-1, they're in a driver's seat anyway.
They're not in the driver's seat.
Right now they are.
No, because
they beat Buffalo. They beat Buffalo.
But if Buffalo comes back and beats them, if Buffalo goes undefeated, the Bills win the division.
Well, if Buffalo goes undefeated and also, the Patriots do not.
Because the Patriots will lose to the Bills.
But which will give them both a one win each.
And then the Bills will have a 1-loss record in the division. The Patriots will have a 2-loss record.
I believe you are correct, sir.
Yes, that is my point. The Bills still control their own destiny. Patriots are the driver's seat because the Patriots can lose a game and beat the Bills and win. But
yeah, like I said, my take is that I feel it's more of a loss than it is a win.
I think for this scenario with the Steelers, it is more of a loss than not getting that win is killing them for the Steelers, given the scenario of the way the season has played out around them.
Yeah,
I agree with you on that.
Based on what you said, yes.
Yeah.
But Buffalo and New England are currently 3-1 in the division. Now, like I said, I mentioned earlier that they're playing the Jets. I'm sorry, they're playing the Dolphins later in the season. So that would be 1 more game in division. Let me take a look at.
If the Bills go undefeated, they will get the game back that they're down. That they will catch up a half a game this week, and then they will be a game back. Then when they end of the season, they will both have 5 losses because the Patriots will get the loss against the Bills if the Bills go undefeated. And then the Bills will also have only 1 division loss, the one to the Patriots. So the Bills still control their own destiny, but they have to go undefeated, including beating the Patriots, which is not looking like something that it's going to be an easy task.
Although ironically enough, they're playing. New England actually has a worse record at home than on the road this year, which is unusual.
It's very unusual. Yes, 6-0 away from home.
The rest of Buffalo's season is they're playing next. They're playing. Their first game they're playing in Tampa on Sunday.
Right.
So that's bad news right there. Then they're playing at home against Carolina, on the road against New England, at home against the Falcons, and at home against the Jets. So there's 3 plausible wins there. I don't think you're beating Tampa at home. I don't think you're that good. Unless
Brady wants to give it the
Listen, that is still their conference to lose, and they're not in a position where you can start throwing games.
No, they're not. That's why I was laughing.
It's like, well, could you do me a favor and let Buffalo win? Do you mind, Tom? Yeah.
But again, I am not calling the
Mhm.
Patriots, the Bills over the Buccaneers at this moment in time.
No.
But I am saying that this Buccaneers team is not the kind of juggernaut either that is. I'm feeling confident at home against a great team. If a good team comes rolling in there, if this was the Cardinals or the Packers rolling in, I'd be like, well, let me think about it. So the Bills have proven not to be that good, but maybe they are that good because this NFL season has just seen some teams lose some real stinkers. Now, that game that they lost, I expect, I don't know. I don't want to say I expect. I hope, if I was a Buccaneer fan, that coach would see what worked and give them and just give Fournette the ball and rush it down their throat. But I don't know if Arians is that kind of flexible coach. Like right now, if the Bills were playing Kansas City, I would not expect Kansas City to play bully ball against them because I don't think that Reed, as amazing as a coach he is that kind of flexible. And so I don't know about Arians, whether he would do that or not. So it'll be an interesting game to watch because the script on how to beat the Bills has been written. Will Arians play that script? I don't know.
Plan. Here's I mean, right now, the thing about the Bills is their defense is just obscene. They're second in points overall and first in yards given up. So that is going to be a massive, massive challenge for Tom Brady and entourage. The difference is that Tom Brady and also Gronk, they have copious amounts of experience when it comes to playing Buffalo.
True. They have experienced Buffalo for a decade and a half. At least, So now it's always a different coach, different team. And we saw how much turnover there was in Atlanta. That was a prime example. I don't know what the Bills' turnover is in only 2 years, but it's amazing the level of turnover that you get on an NFL team. And the coaching staff is. Have they played the McDermott? Did they play a McDermott coach team? Has he been coaching there for 3 years?
He's been coaching there since 2017.
Okay.
So they've got a lot of experience with him.
They have 4 games of experience there.
Per year. So you're looking at 6 games.
6.
6 games so far.
17, 18
and 19.
And 19.
Yeah. And then, of course, this will be match number 7 against Buffalo. McDermott. But you talked about the turnaround and everything like this. Looking at the yards since McDermott took over, the yards was 29th, 30th, 24, 2nd, and 9 on offense in 5 years. So you see that turnaround, from the first 3 years to suddenly last year. Points was 20. They were in points. They were 21, 28, 10, and then 5, and then this year overall 1.
See, these are the screens you should be sharing, so I can see those screens, not this little rinky-dink score.
All right, so I'll pull up that screen, so you don't see the rinky-dink score.
Because everyone watching can see the score at home on their TV, but they don't have their Pro Football Reference up.
Yeah, so if you look, I don't know how well you can see it.
Make us small, make that big. Yeah.
I'll see if I can scroll this to the right. I'm not sure if I can.
No, I mean, shrink us down, because this is worth sharing while we're talking about it. Make us mini that big, yeah.
So if you look right here, this is what I'm talking about on the right side.
Yeah. Like I'm saying, put us in the corner, make that the main screen.
Okay. There we go.
All right. Points. So offensive rank. Okay.
I can't scroll like I wanted to.
Yeah, you don't have to make the screen bigger once it's full screen.
Yeah, I was actually trying to do something like that.
Wow.
But yeah, that's what I'm looking at right there.
So since McDermott, 21st in points, 28th in points, Then Allen's no longer a rookie. They get Singletary 10th. Then they get Diggs 5th and 1st in points overall.
Yeah.
Okay. Points plus minus. Sorry. Not points. Okay. And then their defense was.
Yeah, right here in the middle.
Okay. Defensive rank. Gotcha. 260. All right. Oh, I just like the plus points minus. That's a steady 10, 5, and 1.
Yeah.
That's their points plus minus is number 1 in the league. That's huge. This doesn't have passing DVOA on it, though, I assume.
But that's the Buffalo team. Oh, but it looks like we're back, by the way.
All right. So we can now get rid of this.
All right.
Yeah.
Close that out. Boop. Close that out. Bring that there, and then we're done. Cool. But like I said, Buffalo, that game against Tampa is going to be an absolute must-win for them because you fall to 7-6. If you fall to 7-6, now you're 2 games behind, and again, you have New England is rested, so they're going to have a big game against the Colts, but they're going to have some time off between.
Not only that, but right now you're sitting pretty at if you win, you're fighting these other 7-6 teams. You got the Colts, you got the Bengals, you got the Chargers. If the Bengals and the Chargers go out and win this week, they're at 7-6 also, and there's 3 7-5 teams and a 7-6 team. So the Raiders can move into the 7-6 land. The Broncos can move to 7-6. This
Browns
game,
too.
Yeah, the Browns can move to 7-6.
They could move to the 7-6.
Yeah, I mean,
right, so never mind. I was going to say this is a good kickoff return, but hey, what do you know? There's a flag on the play.
Yeah,
and we got a player down. A lineman was already down for Minnesota. He's in bad shape, though. He ain't moving. They may get the card on him. He just landed wrong. It was 100% his own doing, but it was just on the way he planted. And penalty is on Pittsburgh, so that's going to set back and kill a really, really good run back there. So I'm going to send a 30-yard. That was like a 35-yard run back. It's going to end up being 15-yard line, I guess, for Pittsburgh. So we talked about that, needing to start off strong in the second half. That is not the way you do it.
No.
Yeah. But the question is, can Ben Roethlisberger bring them back? I don't know. The amount of hits
I
that
don't
he took.
feel like he can. I haven't. My eyes have not shown me anything. Yeah. You said the team was JV. We're not doing basic things. They're not protecting Ben. No, you are not protecting Ben.
What's up? Are you looking at Twitter?
No, I'm reading. I'm reading Christina Pink's interview. What she had to say about Tom.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have closed captioning on. Maybe I should start doing that. I do closed captioning for my watch parties though for Hawkeye, which is turning into a really good series.
Because how can you watch a television show without doing closed captioning? Now, do you guys pause the show and talk, or you talk while it's?
We talk during, and then basically as soon as it's over, we'll break it down a little bit. Okay. No, we run straight through, and honestly, it's a pretty good system in the way we've got this. And Najee Harris picks up about 3 on that, but yeah, it's not the worst idea for a first play for a second half.
Backs against the goal line. You need to make sure but. With all the
try and get a little push in that to start your second half, though.
It's just, yes, maybe, but boy, you really want to try to come out here. You can play slow, I guess.
Yeah, like I said, you get something going. I think I understand your perspective about going forward on 4th down. I don't think they would if it ends up being 4th down. And that ball was short hop too. That brings up a 3rd down and 7. He was open though. I would
come out throwing on all 3 downs here. I
didn't mind the first run play. Set a tone, see what you can do as far as push goes. But that ball was straight up short hopped, and that would have been at least close to a first down.
I don't think. Obviously, they weren't on the same page. He's yelling at Johnson about it, but
Yeah.
boy, if he threw it to where Johnson was,
Yeah.
like again, I don't know their offense. I don't know how that's supposed to work. So don't I'm gonna take the bend the nose what he's saying here, but boy,
yeah,
I think Johnson read the defense right because he looked open in the slot to me.
He's short, and there's also a flag on the play. Yeah, depends on what that call was, but typically with a flag that fast, it might have been an offensive false start. Offside. Oh, on the defense. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't see offense.
All right, so that actually makes it at least a 3rd down and 2, which is a little more manageable.
Oh yeah, you could see somebody yelling.
So, all right, clock is running, but that's not a big deal. Now the question is, if they work their way all the way down and get the touchdown, do you take the 7 or do you go for 2?
It's tough because it's too early to try to play the. I think it's too early to play the math game. On the other hand, you're down by so much that you might just want to get as many points as possible is valuable.
And they give the yards right back. Actually, well, in this case, but yeah, Roethlisberger scrambled to try and call a timeout, but I don't think he got the timeout off in time.
Yeah.
Oh, that was such a bad idea. Oh, he's calling for the snap, and for whatever reason, basically the ball just was not snapped. It's like, I don't know, the center didn't hear it or something. So they just took. Oh God, they just took a delay of game to put it back to 3rd down and 7 again. We talked about what do we talk about on Monday? It's like that's the stuff you do to lose your job.
Yeah.
And down goes Ben Roethlisberger again. That is the 5th sack on Ben Roethlisberger this game. And now it's a 4th down and about 14 or so. And he's coming off the field. You got to punt. You're inside your own 5-yard line.
Oh, yeah. No,
you have to.
Yeah, I agree with you. That just
and again, he came in. Oh, yeah, he came in completely untouched. There's no hold. 4th down and 14. Another punt. Short kick too. Pittsburgh 49. So, and he's inside still on his feet. Return to inside about the 35-yard line.
I know you started looking at these guys. Mm-hmm. It's an interesting article.
Oh, 538. Yeah, okay. When to go for 2?
It's a little dated, and I think it goes with a 55% conversion or 40. I think they use 45%.
Oh, this is interesting. Okay. Oh, so you've been wrapping off in this. All right. So league goes from 0 to 1. Change of probability 8%.
You scroll all the way down. They have the point margin down by 17. It's actually interesting when you're down by 17. They're like go for 2 pretty much all the time, no matter how much time's left in the game. But then you get like you're down by 3. So they 55%. And how good your team so they have a whole thing, but I think this might have been done when the 1 point was 80 was like at 80%. So it's a very interesting chart. It's a little old.
Yeah, when did they go back to 35-yard extra points? It's been close to 10 years now, right? $2015. Okay. Yeah, it was 2015 season is when they started doing the 15-yard line for extra points.
All right, so this article's in 2017, so this started counting on it.
Yeah. December 18th. Saturday football. Yeah, are they doing? I don't know. Are they doing Christmas football this year? I think they are, right?
I don't know.
It's a good marketing movie to do it. December 18th, 23rd. Yeah, they got 2 games on Christmas. Browns, Packers, and Colts, Cardinals. Yeah, and it's good time slots too. So Christmas presents are already done. You're already in the middle of eating or, desserts at that point. It's a good sort of like Thanksgiving Day-esque setup.
So, it's basically gone from 99% to less than 94%, like 93%.
Cousins back to pass. Picks up maybe a half a yard. About a half a yard.
All right. So my whole theory that when they moved the kickback, the field goal percentages started to drop seems pretty bunk.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just looking. So it was 99% every year from 2006 to 2014 on extra points.
Stupid high for a long time, yeah.
Since then, it's 94, 93, 94, 93, 93, 92. No rounding, purely just the first number there.
Yeah, but that's fine.
It's basically 94. Because even the one, but the field goal percentages overall, this doesn't take apart distances or anything. So I'll just start, and then you tell me if you can figure out when it changed. 82, 82, 83, 86, 84, 84, 84, 84, 84, 81, 84, 83.
And that's what now?
That's your general field goal percentages from, I think, like 2010. It's basically 84%.
Pretty much closely, yeah.
Yeah, so there's no, even whatever it looks like this year, it's 83.4.
The numbers
down
are
from last year,
84.6. Yeah. And I know the extra points, it was like 99.4% for the longest time. And then when they moved it back, it dropped down to like 94% was the number I remembered, which is a good number. I think it's a good number for 1 point.
Yeah. I think that's fine.
Yeah.
It should be enough to encourage you to go for 2 a little more.
Sure. Especially if your kicker's having a bad day.
Yeah.
Lateral pass went backwards. They're going to lose a few yards on that. But suddenly that missed field goal and extra point don't loom near as large for Greg Joseph as they did. Second down and 14. Clock continues to run. 10. So, okay. They're starting to play the long game here too. Burn some of this clock already. Not the worst idea.
So teams on October of 2020. So last year, article was written. 2-point conversion is 49% of the time. 49%. I think you go for it every time, and you're come up ahead.
Opponent completion percentage 65.5% when TJ Watt on the field, 70% even when he's not.
Oh, think that guy makes a difference?
Oh yeah. You may remember him from Subway commercials with his brothers. Kirk Cousins throws over the middle and gets nobody, so that'll bring up 4th down and a probably doable field goal in theory. Chance to put it 26 at this point. As always, you can find us on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, and also on Twitch at Streampunk Sports and Streampunk Sport with no S at the end on Twitter. Drop us your questions, your thoughts, your ideas. All social media panels have polls on there, thoughts, trivia, random stupid things like that. I had good stats about Ben Roethlisberger on Thursday night, which is part of the reason why I thought they were going to win, as that kick sails through the uprights. And at this point, very much Greg Joseph has rebounded well and is putting up a decent fantasy day. As Pittsburgh is now behind 26 nothing first in third period.
So we saw Matson working a little more of that drive, not a
Mhm.
lot. 3rd and 1, he came in, so he had the 5 yards on 3rd and 1. We'll probably see a little more of that again every time the Steelers don't score. And usually, you're right. If you're settling for 3, that's a bad sign. But when you're building your lead and getting further away in the second half, settling for 3 is just fine. You know,
you've now turned this into basically a 4 touchdown game.
Yep.
And commercial for West Side Story. I am mildly curious about it, but not overly curious. Just they filmed a lot of that in Jersey.
That's the east side last time I checked.
Yeah, they filmed it in Patterson, actually. They built a studio over there.
I don't know. I know it. I've seen it. Dinner Theater was the last time I saw it. West Side Story.
The only time I ever saw West Side Story was in Mr. Schwartz's chorus class.
Okay.
Yeah, when we had senior chorus, we actually watched it there, which, it's one thing when you're watching movies and film strips in certain classes, but in a chorus class, it doesn't really have the same magic because it's already like a breeze class anyway.
Right. No, my son took a film appreciation class.
Nice.
So they watched a lot of movies, but yes, it was a breeze class. But
this job, basically, you're going to be watching Lord of the Rings and go.
Oh no, I think he started North by Northwest.
Okay.
But the teacher, was not. He did not. When he got to the 90s, or whatever it was, I think he's like, I apologize to. He's like, I think it was back to school night. He said something like, I apologize to those parents who want their kids to see Pulp Fiction. Those who don't are much more loud about it. He was like, I would like to show them Pulp Fiction, but yeah.
They must do it on their own time.
Yes.
Actually, it's a funny thing. Speaking of Hitchcock, I didn't know this, but there was 2 additional scenes at the end of The Birds that were actually written and planned but never shot because it cost too much. Because at the end of the Birds, they actually just drive away and the movie just ends.
Right.
There was 2 scenes that were going to happen later where no matter where they went, they continued to get attacked. So it went to Golden Gate Bridge, they got attacked. So wherever they drove, the birds kept coming. So there was no peace. So that the original ending was very ambiguous, but the script, it never stopped. Fun fact I learned today. So speaking of Hitchcock.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, all right, Pittsburgh's taking the ball out to the 10, and ends about the 10. Perhaps not the best idea to take that ball out there because now they're about the 10, maybe 11 or 12 yard line. Bud Grant to the Minneapolis Lakers. I believe the Minneapolis Lakers hold the record for the lowest scoring win of all time in NBA history. Is that right?
Well, I assume that's pre-shot clock.
Yeah, it was. George Mikan. Okay, no. They lost the lowest scoring one. They lost to the Fort Wayne Pistons by a final score of 19-18. Yeah, it was pre-shot clock. Both teams were out of it, so it was just dribbling constantly. Yeah. Arguably, with all of sports, the 24-second shot clock might be the simplest and most impactful rule that has ever been made on any sport.
It's a big one. 3-point line, also pretty big.
Mm-hmm. But I'm talking how impactful one simple rule change can affect an entire sport. I'm talking every sport. All right, there's Harris with the pickup finally. So I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I mean, it is huge because it changed everything because it changed the way the game was played at the time, for sure. Because it was a rule that was changed in a game that was still formed. Like basketball became a sport that was being followed before basketball was done being developed. Right, the 24-second clock is a huge change, as is the 3-point line.
Our first interception of the game, by the way.
Right. By the time football became mainstream-ish, the forward pass was a thing. It wasn't developed to the point that it is now, but it existed.
Yeah.
That's why that's a good point, but it's hard to figure out when the forward pass in football. But football wasn't football until the forward pass existed, but yet it was. It was the game that was played with a soccer ball, and so it's a hard thing to argue, but it's definitely probably the most impactful rule for an established sport to be changed.
Okay. Well, yeah, because I remember when you did the Rutgers, I think, college football video, because Rutgers won the first soccer or football game ever. And it was really just basically glorified soccer.
Right.
Yeah, it was soccer without dribbling. It was just soccer, just kicking the ball through and just trying to score. That's why a 6-4 final was not that low scoring, because you got 1 point for every field goal, if you want to call it that.
Right.
And there was no touchdowns. I mean, supposedly, if I remember right, the forward pass only existed because it happened and they didn't know what to do with it. So supposedly the referee flipped a coin. If it's heads, it counts. If it's tails, it doesn't. And it landed heads. Supposedly, if I remember right, that's how the forward pass became a thing.
I have not heard that before, but yes, I mean, that's exactly kind of what I'm saying. Like, the forward pass in football is just as big of a rule, if not more, 24-second clock. But we don't think of football as a game that doesn't have the forward pass.
St. Louis, let's see. Bradbury Robinson at Bellevue throwing the first legal forward pass. It fell incomplete and resulted in a turnover under the 1906 rules. So, yeah, I'll have to look into that at some point. But by the way, Pittsburgh's basically their situation just went from bad to much worse, because now the first turnover of the game gives Minnesota the ball back in Pittsburgh territory. So already up by 26 points, they're threatening again, and Dalvin Cook is closing in on 200 yards rushing for this game. So I think we talked about this before. If they get the touchdown now in, say, the third quarter, then I think you can easily start pulling Dalvin Cook out of this game.
And again, I don't think it's you pull him out and take his helmet. I think it's, and we already saw it. Yeah. On third down,
taper him back.
Got the ball. We already saw that.
You taper him back a little bit.
You taper him back because you want him to be warm enough to go back in, but you want to protect his shoulder as much as you can. So it's kind of, it's kind of. But if you get the touchdown here, you're up by 5 touchdowns, and you let Matson do that. Hand
it off to Cook, who picks up 5, 6, 7 yards. So if you got him on your fantasy team, again, just reiterating, damn, you're off to a good start.
Yes, you're very happy where you got from the Thursday night game.
You buy him a Christmas present.
You don't buy him a Christmas present. Come on, anything you can buy him, would be all your winnings. That's like if I won my league and I bought my parents a Christmas gift. Like, I bought you, as opposed to I made a donation in your name to this thing because you got everything you want.
The human fund. And Dalvin Cook to the 10, the 9-yard line now, and still going. I don't know what the hell to get my parents. I know we talked about this once before, but when you have parents that are like, "Oh, we don't need anything, we're fine," you're like, "Okay, well, I can't get you nothing," And I've run out of like cool memorabilia shit to get my father. Because last year I got him a Don Larson 1956 perfect game signed by him and Yogi Berra. I can't top that this year. No. That bastard didn't show up until January too. I had to literally show him a JPEG of what we had. It's like, it hasn't shown up yet. There was a delay. There was a glitch. Drop pass, but it looks like PI. And it's like, what am I going to get him this year? Like comic strip books? I can get him like Calvin and Hobbes books or something.
There you go. Get him a signed Calvin and Hobbes.
Oh, dude, Bill Watterson is so absolutely off the grid. Oh shit, that was a hard hit. It was not a pass interference, but it was a helmet shot. Oh, that's a ouch. That's like along the lines of the hits Roethlisberger's taking. That's one of those hits where you're like, you're down 26 points and about to be worse, and you're just angry.
I don't know what the penalty is on that.
Mm.
It's a hard hit, but it's not helmet to helmet. The shoulder hits the shoulder. I don't know. Look. Unnecessary roughness.
Yeah, so now it's only a 5-yard infraction there too. Dalvin Cook loses 2 yards.
That's a bad call because you have to hit him that hard because you have to make him drop the pass if he catches it. That was not how.
No, you know what it was? He left his feet. He went airborne. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe that's what the call was.
No, I think they thought it was helmet to helmet.
Well, it wasn't.
It wasn't helmet to helmet.
It was helmet to shoulder. Yeah. All right, 2nd down and 7. The clock continues to run. 7-yard line. Cousins back to pass, throws and airs it out to the ground. Now the question is, if they're up 29-0, do you start weaning Dalvin Cook back? I'm leaning towards yes.
Yeah.
At least for 1 touchdown. If it's 29-7, I'd say bring him back in.
Yeah, I think you can. Well, here's the thing: you go up 29-0. If you wean Dalvin off, if it goes 29-7, then you're not up, right? You don't have to wean him off until he comes back on, until your team returns to the field. If he returns to the field with a 29-0 lead in the 4th quarter,
that's different.
Then you can let him breathe.
Yeah. But I mean, if in this case, say they make the field goal here, it's 29-0. Roethlisberger gets 29-7 towards the end of the 3rd quarter at that point. Ball was almost caught, but all right.
Well, I'm glad that
out comes Greg Joseph again.
Yeah, I'm glad that penalty didn't mean anything because that was, I think, a really bad call.
The only difference is that burns a lot of clock that Pittsburgh needs right now.
Yes.
Kick is good, but boy, that could have been a little closer than it needed to be.
The AC is blowing hard.
It's that Minnesota inside wind. All right. I'm going to pop out for a minute. So you're in charge.
All right. Wonderful news to be in charge. This game is going about as bad as it could possibly go for Pittsburgh. I'm not sure what could go worse other than Roethlisberger retiring right here and now. And maybe that won't be worse, but this is a team that is struggling to stay in this thing. We basically said, and we basically agreed that the team that loses this game is out. Done. See you later. As Scott said, and I agree with him, this particular tie that they had against Detroit really matters. That win would have been huge. 7-5. If they lose this game, they're still 7-6. They're in it with the other guys. Now they're going to lose it. They're rooting for a loss for the Bills. They're rooting for losses now without other teams coming up from behind them, specifically the Browns, specifically the Raiders, specifically the Broncos. They're right in this mix. Every loss is brutal and painful. And they didn't look good last week until the 4th quarter. They haven't looked good this week. This is a bigger deficit to overcome than they had last week. I don't know if you're a Steeler fan and you're out there. Let me know. What do you do from here? Is it Dwayne Haskins time? Is it Rudolph time? Do you want to see one of these other quarterbacks? Are you still fighting? Like, do you believe that these other teams are not, they're going to go away? Your division is very winnable still for even at 6-6-1. The Ravens do not look good anymore. The Bengals quarterback is beaten up. The Browns don't look good. You can recover from this loss maybe and win the division. You won't really know until we see how the rest of the games play out this weekend. The Ravens got who the Ravens have. Let me tell you. Take a look here.
Yeah, the Ravens have the Browns this weekend.
Oh, so that's a killer for the Steelers.
Yeah.
Because if the Browns win, they move ahead. And the Ravens look beatable, but the Browns, that means the Browns are catching up in the head.
Beatable-er.
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
and like you're not expecting to have Lamar Jackson have that same bad game he had the other night.
Well, he's had several bad games in a row. It looks like the league has figured out blitz him. He can't make his decisions fast enough, and he doesn't have the receivers to get it to.
Here's my take. I think it's too early to basically cast him off. Let's see what happens in a year from now. But he did throw 4 interceptions against the Browns, and they still beat the Browns. So don't expect that to happen a second time.
I'm not casting him off. I am saying, because I don't know that his problems are just purely him. There's offensive line injuries. There's the running backs who were supposed to be there to catch the ball on the drop-offs are gone. They're only good wide receiver. They only have one good wide receiver who's proven in this league. So no, I'm not saying that just because there's a formula that's working this year, I'm casting him off. I am saying that with a beat-up offensive line, the formula is blitzing this year, and it seems to be working.
Well, he is. Sir, go ahead. Sorry.
So, yeah, I think they're very beatable. And a win this week would put this team in a position to do it. Cincinnati, as I was saying, their quarterback's injured too. So even if they lose this game, I'm like, the division's still within reach. That's what I was just saying. The wild card's not. But the division, oddly enough, is.
Yeah. Well, right now, Lamar Jackson, I believe, has 731 yards, I think, on the ground this year, which is like more than double the second, not number 2 person on the team. He is that running game. He is the running offense of that team right now.
He is the entire team right now. And he's a bad pass under extreme pressure away from us not even having this conversation. I mean, that pass was inches. It's a game of inches. If he just maybe, if it's anybody other than TJ Watt, really, it's like,
yeah, he's Lamar Jackson right now is 762 yards. Second is Devonta Freeman with 376 and Latavius Murray 259. So he has more yards on the ground than number 2 and number 3 combined. And he's also averaging 5.8 yards a carry. So that's your dude right there.
Yeah. He's totally the entire team.
Yeah. Like I said, you stop him, it's done. But Roethlisberger deep over the top, and that is, I don't know if it's a catch or an interception. Side judge is right there staring at it, and he is indicating a first down. They're still fighting over it. Washington came down with it for Pittsburgh. Yeah, both. Wow, they're
going to call that a completed pass every time.
They're probably going to have to. Yeah, it's going to fall into that tie goes of the runners type situation. But great attempt by Bird to be able to pull that ball away. Yeah, there's not even a judgment on that. Well, Pittsburgh is now at the 35-yard line. They needed that one big time. Roethlisberger rollout picks up 5 and good. Yeah, they're in hurry up offense now too, big time. Great attempt. I love that play. I love that catch on both sides of that fence right there.
Yeah, no, everyone, boom.
Oh, yeah. Second down at 5, 4 minutes left, 30-yard line. Pittsburgh driving. Probably the first time you get to this game. And they can't fucking snap the ball. Dude.
And that's why they're not going hurry up the whole game. If they can't figure out how to get the ball, they're not communicating well. Why? I mean,
they can't communicate. The snaps are terrible. Roethlisberger did a great job being able to pull that ball down and still turn it into a first down anyway. Credit where it's due, but that was it. Bounced off Harris's hand.
That could have hand that ball to him. Boom, boom. Yeah, I got it.
Harris saved that too. I mean, that ball easily could have been a terrible fumble and lost 15, 20 yards there.
How he's open after all that? I mean,
what did I tell you? Don't give up on Ben just yet. But actually, there's a penalty on that play anyway. So there you go.
Offsides.
Shit! Drop the ball, dude. He was hit behind the line. They lost like 5 or 6 yards, and they're burning clock too. And there's a flag on the play. Why not? So that play might actually be on Minnesota there. Taunting. Unnecessary rough. I don't think it's unnecessary roughness. He was still fighting.
I don't see the flag where the taunting was, but
Yeah, I don't know what that flag would have been.
it was definitely. I could definitely see that being taunting.
Mhm.
Could be unnecessary roughness for throwing him down, but
Maybe
there's
that's the
no
taunt.
flag there.
That might be the taunt right there when he was already down.
Yeah. I mean, I
Oh,
saw
oh
the
shit!
taunt.
Oh yeah. That's it. And you see what's actually you see what's happening between Minnesota, man. We'll just watch this when it shows up. But Pittsburgh gets a break there. So
I mean, oh yeah.
Harris turns the corner, picks up a first down, and gets out of bounds too. So
that linebacker, 55, I think it was Hendricks, was furious with him.
Oh yeah, you don't often see one player shove his own teammate.
Yeah. What I was saying is, I saw a penalty. I didn't see a flag thrown by somebody near the penalty.
Yeah. Roethlisberger right now, 10 for 16, 102 yards and a pick. That'll pick up the numbers a little bit. Can he get into the end zone? And no, but backed up by 9. Najee Harris is starting to turn in a decent game at this point, but 7, 14, 21, 28. So yeah, you're going to have to get 2-point conversions in here somewhere.
Yeah.
I would almost consider doing it right off the bat and just go for it. Just start going for 2.
Yeah, I mean, I think Tomlin will.
Yeah, because you miss it the first time. If you get it the next 2 times, you're still down by 7. So you can still salvage. Oh, that was another shitty snap. Pass over the top and drop would have been a touchdown. That was, another bad snap. I don't know if it's the snap that's bad or if Roethlisberger just can't hold on to it. And that should have definitely been a touchdown.
Yeah, that wasn't too bad of a snap because that snap. The thing about that snap, it was in the direction that he was running. Like I almost, like it was a rollout, and so the snap was fine.
Yep.
NFL wide receivers make that catch.
3rd down and 2. This is obviously 4-down territory too. No brainer and a half.
No.
Roethlisberger back over the middle, and there's your first touchdown if you're Pittsburgh. Harris with the touchdown. So he's, like I said, he's slowly starting to turn in a good game there.
I mean, he's got, he didn't have a chance. He has only 5 less carries than Cook. Plus, he's got some receptions. So, yeah.
They're going to go for 1 on this one, too, interestingly enough. And the kick is good. So 2:11 left to play, 9-7. I would say leave Dalvin Cook in a little while longer.
Yeah, no, that's why it's like you don't have to announce it. You don't have to say, "Oh, we're pulling him." If you're up 29-0 going into the 4th quarter and you've gotten the ball back, then you can pull him. But you're not. It's the 3rd quarter. Hopefully, you put a touchdown on the board if you're Minnesota, and then. I think if you're up 36, 35, you pull it.
I would even consider 32 if you burn enough time off the clock.
Yeah. Yes. If you have a nice 10-minute drive.
Yeah. I mean, right now, Dalvin Cook is doing pretty much all your workload. Kirk Cousins, 125 yards, 179 yards for Dalvin Cook. What the heck? This thing keeps popping up. Yes, thank you. I don't care. For some reason now, NFL.com is putting a drive recap on there. I don't know why. I went back over here because I crashed before and I wasn't sure if it was ESPN that was doing it.
Right. Okay.
So kickoff goes into the end zone. Start burning some of that clock.
That's the kick going in the end zone, and the good thing for the Steelers, no clock gets burnt.
Sure. Well, I mean, honestly, if you're Minnesota, you don't want to actually necessarily risk a bad return. Anyway, the stats on returns are not great.
Well, that's it. That's an interesting question. Are you better off starting on the 10, but having burnt 3 seconds. I don't think you are, but there might be some thought.
And Pittsburgh gets the interception immediately. Dalvin Cook is not going to be leaving this game right away.
Nope.
First pass, first pick.
Well,
back to the original point. With the ball now at the 25-yard line versus the 20, yes, I think touchbacks are more important.
Which is why some teams try to kick it to the 5 with more hang time.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Yeah, sometimes you get really good with that, like with Madden, a lot of games like that, where you can kick the ball right to the 1.5-yard line with enough hang time that you stop them at like the 8-yard line.
Well, I mean, as soon as they came out with 25 yards, that's what Belichick started doing, kicking it to the 5.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Force them to have to return the ball.
Yep.
All right, so Pittsburgh suddenly has the ball again. Now at the 42-yard line of Minnesota, 2:03 left. Najee Harris picks up a first down, and he's now inside the 30. So this would be a two-point conversion territory, because that would make it a 2-touchdown game.
I can't believe the last one wasn't a 2-point conversion territory.
Obviously, it doesn't make a difference now, but I don't see a problem with it now. But
Right.
Roethlisberger started to turn in. Yeah, total yards this quarter: Steelers 101, Vikings 28.
They're going to do what they did last week, where they just came on at the end of the game.
Najee Harris falls down, gets back up, and still gets like 2 yards out of it. He just slipped on the field.
Najee Harris not happy that Dalvin Cook has had a great first half and made him look bad.
But like I said, Harris is starting to put up good numbers of his own. What, 70, 80, probably 83 yards, 84 yards, something like that.
Yeah, and you can see the difference in that. What we said earlier is he was averaging a yard per carry less than Cook coming into the game, although they had almost identical yards. And you can see how much more explosive Cook is. 179 yards on his 18 carries versus 84 on 15.
Roethlisberger over the middle and incomplete. But yeah, Harris himself is actually averaging 5.9 yards per carry himself,
which is better than his season average.
Mm-hmm.
Oof. Come on, get me Fryermuth in the end zone.
By the way, sort of speaking of, I was talking about Madden, but EA Sports in general. Women's hockey is now being added to the EA NHL franchise games now going forward.
Very nice.
So I was very surprised to hear that today. Shocking, because it's like, yeah, they really haven't done anything in that arena, have they?
No, they haven't.
I've gotten more than enough NHL games in my time, and it's like there was never any women's teams on them. Now I don't know if the teams can play against each other or it's its own league. I don't know what the rule, how they're going to operate that, but it is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
And I think it's probably just the beginning. Maybe the WNBA gets added to
Well, does the WNBA doesn't have its own game?
I don't think it does. Yeah. I don't think they ever came out with one.
Yeah.
NBA 2K20. Welcome to the WNBA.
Yeah, but NBA 2K22.
But yeah, but they took but they didn't have an exclusive game for their own.
NBA 2K22, NBA 25th anniversary exclusive PlayStation. There's a woman on the cover.
Mm.
Yeah, NBA 2K22 WNBA. That could have been
wonder how the sales were for that. Good catch there too. Now inside the 10.
WNBA makes a video game debut in 2018.
Okay. Dude, I have a PS3 I really touch over here.
Yeah.
So
I live with two gamers, but I do not. Yeah. When he comes home, we play video games. He's
nice.
And it's crazy, right? Here we are. Look, we're on Twitch. What makes Twitch interesting is kids come on Twitch and they watch other people play video games.
Mm-hmm.
My son got me a console. He bought me for Christmas last year so that I could play video games. And he literally does the same thing. He comes and watches me. Dad, play. He's watching me play. All right. A little weird, but all right.
But I don't know. Do we add Stream Punk Gaming into the lineup?
I don't think we are. We have to learn to play video games. Like that's a whole. But no, I don't think we're ready to.
I'm
compete.
pretty sure I can find a gamer who'd want to do that. JT McGuire and I, we did have our own Let's Play for a while there too.
Yeah, I don't think we're ready to add that. The level of competition, that's not unique. I mean, you go to Twitch and they go boom right there. The first 17 games are gamer.
Yeah, first person shooter, Minecraft, first person shooter, EA Sports.
I mean, my youngest has they have a channel.
Okay.
So.
All right. So here we are entering the fourth quarter. Pittsburgh is suddenly threatening, so there's something going on right now. Let your teens start being teens again. COVID vaccine. Conor McGregor. He's taking a punch to the head there for UFC.
I'm still on some. I'm on an NFL Network commercial still.
Okay.
You're like 2 commercials ahead of me.
Yeah, they just Yeah, I'm pretty sure UFC would go over pretty well, and I know that Ernesto wanted to do UFC and MMA on this.
Yeah, that would fit right into Stream Punk Sports.
Yeah, he's actually I forgot if I told you, but he's down in the Dominican Republic right now till after the holiday.
Okay.
So after Christmas, I'm going to reach out to him, and probably January he'll start that. I haven't figured out how I'm going to do that yet, but we'll figure that out. But okay, so like I said, fourth quarter at this point. It's funny, they had a Toyota-thon, all this Toyota-thon stuff after I got my Toyota. So it was amazing how that works. It always works out that way too.
No, I mean Toyota-thon's always the same time.
Well, yeah, but it's always funny when basically you buy something, expensive purchase, and they're like, oh yeah, by the way, you get this deal now. It's like, shit, just got this damn thing. So
yeah.
All right. First play of the fourth quarter, 8-yard line, second down and goal. Ben Roethlisberger is in the shotgun at the moment, and snap, got right to him this time. Roethlisberger's over the center, and nope, just out of the hands. He felt the pressure starting to break down on him too. But this brings up a third down and goal in an obvious four down territory.
Maybe we'll do the double header this weekend on Saturday.
Okay.
We'll do the last race of F1 at 8 to 10 in the morning, and then we can do the MLS Championship.
I will not be able to do that. My father has a party that I'm going to be going to. Robin and I are going to. But if you want to do an F1, be my guest. More than welcome to. I'll set up the restream on that. Just let me know what you want to do, and we shall knock it out.
If I can find somebody to join me for F1. I don't think I can do it alone for 2 hours, but
all right.
There's no commercials in F1.
No, there is not. There's no commercials in soccer either.
Yeah.
So, but that's the benefit. That's the one thing I like about soccer. Like I said, there's no breaks all the way through.
Yeah. Ooh, pass interference.
Which is in some ways kind of weird because it's the MLS Championship and it's over in 2 hours. One game, bam, done. So first down and goal.
Good call on that. I mean, it's not some of the lamer penalties we saw early.
So you wanted to do Saturday?
I'm thinking, no. As I thought about it, I'll be up at 8 o'clock in the morning, but I will not be up for streaming.
Okay. So
not unless
there's your second touchdown if you're Pittsburgh. What's that?
Unless we got Lawrence, that'd be nice.
We'll make that shit work. Yeah.
Well, bother him at the last minute. Hey, what are you doing for the race?
That's where some of my growth is going for the Lawrences of the world.
Right.
So,
yeah.
And I'm pretty sure
Harris saying, "Hey, So there's two stud running backs playing this game, and I'm a rookie.
And suddenly this game got interesting as they just cut the lead literally in half. They're going for the extra point, though, again. All right. Yeah, every time I see this, I keep wondering if it's going to be a fake, but from like the 15-yard line. That kick is good, but it was nearly tipped. So now it's 29-14, very quickly turning itself around. 14:49 to play, so this is going to put a lot of pressure on Minnesota to start making something happen here. You got to keep Dalvin cooking. You have no choice.
Yeah. Now it's a football game. That was a football game again. So, of course, one drive that ends in a field goal here, the game's over.
If you can burn 6, 7, 8 minutes off this clock, sure.
Yeah. But hey, this is a team that came back, had 17 points in the fourth quarter last week, not yesterday, but
yeah. So right now, all right, commercial for Zales, stuff I can't afford.
Yeah, we are definitely at the different commercial part of the game.
Yeah. Well, now we have the requisite NFL Subway commercial. So, or actually, just so far, it's a Subway commercial. By the way, I know I'm Jersey stupid, so I get this, but the make your own cheesesteaks down in Philadelphia last week for that game were phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot how good this stuff is for you guys with cheesesteaks down there.
There's just like there's some people in North Jersey who think the pizza's better in North Jersey than it is in New York. There's people in South Jersey who think you can get better cheesesteak on this side of the river. It's very interesting.
No. I mean, this was Chester, Pennsylvania, not true Philly, but still, It's Philly enough in my mind. But it was a nice setup there, and it was, very happy. Better than the food they gave us at Lehigh Lafayette, which is like, Pennsylvania pizza.
Well, that's all the pizza.
I mean, I didn't care. I spent way too many months eating ramen noodles and corn 5 nights a week. So I'll take what I can get. But I just want to say for the record, oh God, that there is something about Philadelphia cheesesteaks, which is why there's a commercial right now I've been seeing on like Facebook and Twitter and shit, where it's like, true Philadelphia cheesesteak, and it's like a Kraft single, and someone actually like takes puts it on the top and says, you cannot do that to a cheesesteak. It's illegal.
No, that is no. Some people like the whiz down here too, which is not my thing.
Cheese whiz, okay, it's fine, but I don't know. If you put American and provolone on there or American mozzarella, it's fine. I can work with that.
But you will have people in here who will tell you that it's whiz is the only way to have a real chili fish.
No, I don't buy that. I don't buy that.
No, whiz wit.
Yeah.
Until they get their cheesesteak. How do you get a cheesesteak? Whiz wit.
No, I've heard that and I won't do it. But like I said, American and mozzarella, yeah. Onions, no green peppers, no mushrooms.
Okay, I like mine on garlic bread.
Well, that's a nice thought. I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah.
To its credit, the pizza place next door actually makes a really, really good Philly cheesesteak pizza. It's expensive as hell, but it's great.
The pizzeria I used to work in Walden, a friend of mine used to always come in and loved their cheesesteak. He was the only person who I know who ordered their cheesesteak, but always ordered their cheesesteaks.
Which, by the way, Dalvin Cook picks up 6 yards, so he's off and running again. He's closing down 200 yards rushing for the game. Which pizza place?
Oh, they're still in business. They're not paying me to advertise for them.
Okay. Apparently, it did not end on good terms.
But no, it ended fine.
What's that?
It ended fine, but then ownership changed after I left. So
I just wondered if it was the one on like West Prospect Street, the one by Stop and Shop, the one by, where the pet store and Home Hardware used to be. And Dalvin Cook gets stops going to be 3rd down and long. So that was all the 3 within like a half a mile of our house.
Yeah. No, the ownership changed after I left, but.
Well, there was the one that had the bootleg. Okay, yeah, right. There was the one that had. I think this is the same one I'm talking about. That had a bootleg Street Fighter in there. So it had a weird version of Street Fighter that it screwed up like every move that you had.
Not while I was there. It didn't have that.
Well, see, it's weird because now that Stop and Shop is gone, and now it's like a Whole Foods or something. Our little tiny podunk town has gotten very trendy. Kirk Cousins back to pass, a lot of time.
Your little, yeah. Don't forget your little. It's funny you think it's a podunk town. When I tell people that I'm from Bergen County, they don't care what you say. I mean, there are people like I had a whole group of friends. They're like, "Oh, how's the butler?" I'm like, "Dude," they're like, "No, you're from Bergen County. You can
not
be 10.
not where we are. No.
Yeah, but you say that, but go look at what the median income is in Waldwick and compare it to the rest of the country. You'd be like, wait a second, we're not a poor little podunk town.
By comparison to Bergen County, we kind of were. So
comparison to Bergen County,
yeah, it's almost double that. But versus, like, say, Paramus, for example.
Yeah, versus Paramus, for example, but not
actually,
versus
Paramus is lower. Go figure.
But not versus, I don't know, like let's say pick a town in Alabama, any town in Alabama. Pick a town, pick some areas by this Minnesota team.
Yeah. But I mean, if you remember, we had bear warning signs. At Trapphagen, there were times we weren't allowed to go outside for lunch because there was a bear walking around.
I get that here in Cherry Hill.
Oh yeah. Well, we don't get that. I don't have any bears here. We get deer, fox, and we've seen egret a couple times too, which never seen egret up here. You guys get them. I know that.
I come home once a year, if not more. I come home and there's deer just sitting by my hammock. Like, hey, this must be the place to relax. There's a hammock here.
My father has basically taken video of the deer on the front lawn. The deer will stay there for a minute and a half, and he'll just sit there with the phone like this.
No, we had one deer. We recognized. I don't know how he lived for so long. He was injured. Like, he had a broken leg. I'm like, that deer. How's that deer still living? He made it through the whole spring a year ago. But I don't know. I didn't see him this year, so I think he died in the winter.
I don't know how long their lifespan is. Maybe 20 years.
I have no idea, but he was not. Yeah, and then the baby deer died in the back of my neighbor's yard while she was in Florida for the first year and a half of COVID. So she came back and there's a dead deer carcass in her backyard. That was fun.
Yeah. Most white-tailed deer live about 2 to 3 years. Maximum lifespan in the wild is 20, but few make it past 10. The oldest on Guinness Book of Records is 31. We're at that point in the game now where we start talking less about the game and more about this is the rambling part of the game that we talked about.
And
this is
and this shouldn't be. Pittsburgh got the ball back again.
Dude, really? They could make this a 1-touchdown game.
Yeah. This should be the part where we're focusing entirely. The Vikings have just enough time left to blow this.
Well, I mean, right now they're 15 points down, so obviously and I've said it the last 2 times, you need the 2-point conversion. But right now, I mean, with the amount of time that they've gotten left, and this is where his strongest suit, I think, is. What's his fourth quarter numbers?
Let's see. I think that. Oh, look. Ben's been passing more.
What's that?
Ben is passing, and they're in the shotgun. They've changed their offense around.
Yep.
So
we're handing the ball off to Harris anyway, who's trying to turn a corner and picks up 3, maybe. Yeah, fourth quarter. He has a 109.8 QB rating in the fourth quarter. First quarter is his worst.
Yeah. I guess the pain is finally wearing off. Or he's used to it, one or the other.
You just grit your teeth and you muscle through. But yeah, second down and 7, 12:48 left. Pittsburgh is down 15, but they've scored 14 unanswered so far. He's throwing deep down the sideline, and it is caught with a flag. So the flag's going to be interesting to see what happens there. But if that catch stands, that's like a 40-yard pickup. Oh, be afraid, Minnesota. Be very afraid. Yeah. I don't know what to play.
I think it's offsides.
No, I think they went in pass interference.
Oh, okay, yeah. All right. So
Yeah,
there's offsides that wasn't called, and
yeah,
then
there was. Yeah, I saw the
defensive
offside
pass
that wasn't called.
interference that would be declined.
Yeah, but there was a lot of pushing and shoving there. So the right call to throw that flag, but great eyes to catch that ball. Waiting to find out what the infraction is. Okay, first down.
Defensive pass interference declined.
So, yeah, you got to in this case. But 12:27 left. Now at the 30-yard line. What's really funny is that the Minnesota fans have gone completely silent. They were fired up before at halftime.
Oh yeah,
Roethlisberger over the center, and there's their third touchdown. If you're Pittsburgh, holy shit! Oh, dude, they are coming on with a friggin' vengeance right here. Whew. And again, possibly go for it.
Well, no, now you don't.
Yeah, you know what? I think you can let it go this time. So that was a great catch into double coverage too.
So if you miss it now, then you go for it for a tie.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe you go for it now. I don't know. I would have gone for it the first time, and if I made it, I would have gone for it the second time. And if I made it,
they might be going for it this time around too.
They are going for it.
Yep, they are going to go for it.
Yeah, because now it makes sense not from a strategic point, but from all right, we don't need to try it and then
They're not going to get it for short.
Yeah, so because now they have two tries to get it.
Yeah, but right now, looking at it, they have scored 3 touchdowns in just over 5 minutes.
Yep.
It's interesting. At one point in this game, right when it was 26-0, the win percentage was Minnesota with 99.8% win percentage. Now that number is down to 86.9. So this is, like I said, a very, very big game now at this point. The question is, can Dalvin Cook save them? I don't know.
Or can Justin Jefferson catch one of these passes?
I would consider basically turning the ball over to Dalvin Cook more. Try and burn that clock because you don't want to give the ball back to Roethlisberger. With that stop there, it is still a 2-score game. I would consider basically continuing to give the ball to Cook, who does have almost 200 yards.
100. No, that's the wrong guy. 182 yards.
Yeah, he's averaging 9.1 yards a run right now, and you can burn some of the clock there.
So his running has come down significantly. His quality of running, but
if you look at Kirk Cousins' numbers, he's a 26.
Kirk Cousins has stunk up the joint. But what I'm saying is there has been passes that have hit Jefferson in the hands that he has not caught, including the interception.
But here's the thing, your quarterback rating is what your quarterback rating is, whether your receivers bail you out or fail you out. And I just came up with that phrase now. I may save it, but that 11 for 26 is a combination of both catches that were bad catches and also throws that were bad throws. So it works. It averages itself out. So that 11 for 26 is a massive concern if you're Minnesota.
I agree.
Like I said, give the ball to Cook. Try and burn that clock as much as possible.
You do what the defense is giving you. So, if the defense is putting 8 guys in the box, you can try to crush it down. But what I'm seeing is that the defense, unlike against New England, has started to control Cook.
You know what I would consider here, just for the hell of it? Would you consider an onside kick?
A surprise onside kick? I don't know. I don't think I would.
Here's the thing. They're starting to contain Dalvin Cook a little bit more, and I think it would be one of those things that might catch him off guard. Again, the odds are absolutely against you to make that happen, but it's just a random thought. As they're showing a time lapse and all that snow on the ground. Yeah. We're getting snow pretty soon, I think, too, aren't we?
I think so.
Yeah. All right, regular kickoff. Ball's going to go into the end zone and out. Saturday is supposed to, holy shit, here in Newark anyway, through in just regular in Jersey. Temperature's going to hit 67 on Saturday. Nice.
I'm looking for when there was the last
First down, by the way, first downs this half. Vikings have 2. Pittsburgh's got 12. So they have absolutely turned it on. Passing yards this half. Vikings 1 yard. They're giving the ball to Cook. Cook picks up about 7 or 8, probably about 8 yards. So they did at least stop him here, but he's.
No, if you didn't stop him, 7 yards. If you 7 yards is way ahead of the change because now you can
Yeah,
pass it 3 times and then run.
I'm just saying, stop him from getting a first down. You take the wins where you can get if you're Pittsburgh right now.
His head went back. Surprised there was no call on that.
It was almost a horse collar on that.
But that's
with him averaging
the hair is legal. The hair is legal.
Yes, with him averaging 9 yards a carry, stopping him from getting a first down is its own win.
Oh, that is it's like his hair kept him from getting the horse collar.
But they do have the first down here. And now it's going to be sub 11 minutes by the time that ball is snapped again. $11:13 left. So moving along. But as always, my general rule is, if you have any thoughts, any comments, any predictions, we want to hear what you guys have to say. So I'm Scott. That's Obi. And this is Stream Punk Sports. 38-yard line. Kirk Cousins back to pass and throwing for everything. And oh, wow. Holy shit. And that is how you answer back. By the way, did you say you had Osborne or Jefferson?
I have Jefferson.
Okay, sorry.
Osborne's gotten everything in the second half.
I was going to say, they just got 6 back.
Yep. But that's what I'm like. If the defense is going to if the defense is going to dictate to you to run the ball, to pass the ball, then pass the ball.
Yeah. But Sutton fell down, which turned a big game into an automatic touchdown.
Yeah.
I think the offensive coordinator said something that they can't air on air without the FCC getting involved. All right. Big field goal, big extra point here. The kick is up, and it is straight through. Oh, yeah.
Sutton fell down, and he could have been called for pass interference.
Mm-hmm.
It would be a ticky-tack call. I'm glad it wasn't called, but it was there.
But that does give Minnesota a little bit of breathing room here.
I think Minnesota a ton of breathing room.
I don't know. I would only say a little because of the fact that Pittsburgh scored 3 touchdowns in under 6 minutes. So I would say a little.
So you say that because do you expect Pittsburgh to keep up this high pace, or because if Pittsburgh scores and they don't do it as fast, or they don't score, that's the breathing room's huge. I'm not saying take Dalvin Cook out of the game type breathing room, but that's a lot of breathing room. What did your percentage of win go up to?
You know what? I haven't looked at that. I should find that out. Yeah, what did I look at there?
I mean, it was already at 80-something. That's a lot of breathing room to begin with.
It was. All right. Kickoff is really underway. Forthwith. Yeah, now it's back up to 98%.
Right. So that's 10%. 10% is a lot of breathing room. Because remember, they still need to score, 3 times? 2 times.
2 and 2-2-1 conversions.
2 and 2.2, 2 and 2.2. I can't even say it. 2 and 2.
11:15 at night, dude. I got it.
2-point conversions.
Yeah.
So that's a lot in 11 minutes. As fast as the Steelers have scored already, that's a lot.
Yeah. But this is where Ben Roethlisberger, like I said, as a career has been at his best. That QB rating is phenomenal in the fourth quarter, especially when he's behind. So if you answer back and you stop Dalvin Cook, it gives you a shot.
Yes.
But
if you answer back, stop Dalvin Cook, answer back, and stop Dalvin Cook.
And then answer back and then stop Dalvin Cook.
Right. So that was the impressive thing, not the scoring, how quickly they got the ball back. They got the interception, they got the 3 and out, and Harris just piddles around, which takes time off the clock, which the Vikings will take.
I don't think they're worried just yet. I mean, here's the thing. 2nd down and 6. They're handing the ball off to Harris again. He's going to pick up he's short of the first down by about 1.5 yards. Sub 10 minutes left to play. Both teams have all 3 timeouts as well.
Yeah. There's a lot of football to be played unless there isn't.
Well said. So,
and what I mean by that is if you go 3 and out and the Vikings put down a long drive, which they haven't done since the first half, so that's a lot of ifs.
And Najee Harris has stopped that 3rd down and 1, and they dropped him for about a 3 or 4 yard loss there. That's a questionable decision to run the ball 3 times like that. 2 surprised me a little bit.
Especially since the passing game is what's working.
Passing game, I mean, Roethlisberger, like I said, he has 108 QB rating in the 4th quarter. You just took him out of that, and now you're bringing up 4th down and 3. You know, this is why I said
earlier. On 3rd and 1, I don't think it's a bad call. At that point, I think it's the right call.
At that point, yes. But
so running it worked. You know, that's the funny thing. Like you can't. The first 2 plays got you to 3rd and 1.
Mm.
And then,
like I said, that is strong. This is why I said earlier you can't always count the guy out.
Right.
And oh God. By the way, if you heard like a 6.0 on the Richter scale, that was the yell of unison of the massive F-bomb that was just dropped in Pittsburgh for the delay game that just happened right now. A little long to set up that punchline there, but yeah, another delay game.
You were a little delayed in setting up the punchline.
I see what you did there. But again, he's calling for it, and the center's not snapping the ball. Second time, though. Remember, we saw this happening. Yeah. And now they're punting. Holy shit. You know, I don't disagree with the punt entirely, but entirely. But damn, that was such a stupid play. That was a terrible, terrible decision across the board there. You know, now in this case, very easily Pittsburgh and Minnesota can put down the hammer.
Right.
You know, Dalvin Cook can break 200.
Now I almost wonder, not because oh my God.
That punt was terrible. Yeah, that was a garbage punt by what's his face, Jared Lorenzen. By the way, the win percentage is now sitting at 99.5 for Minnesota. At one point in this game, though, it was actually 67% in favor of Pittsburgh.
Was that when the game started?
Pretty close to it, yeah. Definitely first quarter. 4th down and 3 at Pittsburgh's 35. But 99.4. It's dropping. Pittsburgh has a chance. But Dalvin Cook, 198 yards, most in the NFL this season. That surprises me that nobody's broken 200 yards this season.
Yeah.
Weird.
I thought it's funny because I thought Taylor did on that big game. Maybe he had 200 all-purpose.
No, he didn't. He had 185 yards and 5 touchdowns. I remember because he's on my fantasy league. He's the only reason I won that week, too. Everybody else was trash. Yeah, 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds on the clock. Cousins hands off to Dalvin Cook, which is going to bring up a definite 3rd down here. 3rd down and long, probably a pass play. I don't think you have a choice. I think you have to open up Kirk Cousins on this.
Yeah. That's fine.
But suddenly a very, very important 3rd down. 3rd down and 5. If they get this, I would almost wonder if Pittsburgh is going to start taking timeouts. Yeah. Do you give the ball to Cook, though, at 3rd and 5? I would say no. Damn, I don't know. So far tonight, Minnesota's 3 for 10 on 3rd down. Cousins back to pass, scrambling, losing. Stays out of it. He might get the first, and he does. But he dropped the ball. No, right, he was down anyway. It was picked up. But he scrambles and picks up about 10.
That's killer.
Dude, yeah. He had a good sprint on that, too.
Oh, he should have been done.
Yeah, they should have had him. But listen, to his credit, he had a good 440 on that. Yeah, that ball was down by contact, I'm pretty sure, so it wouldn't have mattered there. Yeah, it was.
And it was clearly recovered by a Minnesota lineman.
Yeah, it's irrelevant. But that is so huge because now you're closing in on 6.5 minutes left and a fresh set of downs.
Oh, yeah, he was definitively tackled and the ball hit the ground. That's not even.
Give the
That
ball to
wasn't
Dalvin
close.
Cook. Cook picks up 2, brings the ball down to the sub 6 minute mark. So yeah, we're hitting the tail end of this right now. Dalvin Cook, like I said, if he's on your fantasy league, you've had a good day today. 202 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns, no receptions though, which surprises me a little bit. But this ball is going to be down to 5:50, I guess, when they snap the ball, or close to it, and then probably close to 5 minutes for third down. And Pittsburgh's season's probably going to come to an end. I think statistically, I looked it up on 538. Minnesota had a better shot of reaching the playoffs than Pittsburgh did, despite the fact they had a worse record and a losing record.
They did because of that large clump of teams between 6 and 7 and 6 and 6 in the AFC, whereas Minnesota has a clearer path.
Yeah, but
I'm suspecting that the 7th wild card team in the NFC is going to have a losing record.
It could be.
I feel 8 and 9 is going to get in. And we were talking, right? We found some 8 and 8 teams, but we know 8 and 7 teams historically that would have gotten in. Is that correct? When we were looking at the
8 and 8s have gotten in, yes.
No, but we said there's a losing team that's gotten in, but we said with the wild card team
and it's picked. Oh shit! To the 40, the 30, and then down at the 20. It is not over yet for Pittsburgh.
Well, that sucks for I think that sucks for those people who were trying to get more fantasy points out of this. But again, him and Jefferson have not been on the same page.
Yeah.
Well, that was Osborne that time. I don't know how much that kills the Vikings though, because they're gonna be able to. Remember, it's a 2-pointer. It's 2 touchdowns and 2 2-point conversions. So it's a touchdown and 2-point conversion,
Might have been a face mask.
an onside kick recovered, and a 2-point conversion.
Now, if you look at the NFC standings right now, I'm going to minimize us for a second.
Please.
And apparently maximize myself in the process. So, all right, there we go. So right now, if you're looking at this, and I'm also going to take caption off so we can see everything right here. It's a pretty tight matchup right now between Washington and the rest. Because Washington right now, Rams are 5th at 8 and 4. They're probably going to be a lock. But Washington and 49ers are 6 and 6. And then all the way down to the Saints, you've got 5 other teams there that are only game out.
Yeah, I'd say I would on my fingers count the Giants, Bears, and Seahawks out. I wouldn't. I guess
yes,
they're
I
not
would.
mathematically out, but
they're out. Oh yeah.
So
the Giants are playing. I forget who they're playing this weekend.
The Giants can get 9 wins, right? They can get up to 9 wins. So
the Giants can get 9 wins. They're not going to get 9 wins.
Yeah.
So, and by the way, 4th touchdown now if you're Pittsburgh. I've been kind of like counting them up the whole way through this one.
Yeah, you've been counting it up. You didn't count the Vikings touchdown when they just scored a touchdown. You're like, that one doesn't count for my counts.
No, you know what it is?
You've
seen this monstrous comeback here, but if they get the 2-point conversion, this is suddenly a 1-score freaking game.
Yes.
But yeah, like I said, as far as the wild card race goes, it's pretty damn tight. They're going for 2, obviously. But also, if they miss the 2, they can get the touchdown and the field goal, at least to tie it that way if they need to. But they have not had success on 2-point conversions today. But they got that one. So, very interesting. Yeah, meanwhile, on the other side of the fence, you got the Chargers, Bengals, and Bills at 7 and 5. And then you have a myriad of teams, basically all the way down to the Broncos at 6 and 6. So it's interesting. The AFC is really tight as well.
Yeah, and that's why you have such a lower chance. Is you have all those. It's just count them up and roll the die.
Like I said, in this case, the Browns are playing against the Ravens, which is going to be a tough matchup.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dalvin Cook looks lost right now too. Dude, You've given up 28 points in the second half here. Win percentage is still 98% in favor of Minnesota, though.
Yeah, they still need to turn the ball over without scoring.
Mm-hmm.
They need to then give up a touchdown, give up a 2-point conversion, and then lose in overtime. That's a lot to happen.
Right now, if you're Pittsburgh, you're just looking at overtime. That's all that matters right now.
Right, and if you're Minnesota, you're looking at how do I need to burn 4 minutes and 14. Like I gotta burn it. I don't think you let. I don't think you did. This is the Dalvin Cook show.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all this is. It's the Dalvin Cook show. Unless you want to run Madison.
They've slowed him down dramatically in the second half.
Yeah,
his numbers have tapered off. So it's almost like they figured him either A, they figured him out, or B, he's getting tired. So that takes away so much of the offense.
I said to you a few drives ago that when they hit that big touchdown,
and they just stopped him for 2 years,
giving it to you. But now it doesn't matter what the defense is giving you.
Yeah, but you can start considering burning timeouts. But that's a 2-yard loss right there. Record in 1-score games this season: Steelers are 6-1-1. Vikings are 4-7. They've had 11. Wow, they've had 11 1-score games this season.
11. Yeah, they've had 11 1-score games in 12 games. 12 games, 11 1-score games.
That's a heart attack. If you're a Vikings fan, it's a heart attack.
I thought I like the spread with the Steelers covering the spread because the games have been so close.
Cousins with the catch, and I think the first. No, he's short by about 2 or 3 yards. But it sets up a third.
Jefferson with the catch.
Yeah, I didn't see. I'm sorry.
Okay. I'll find out soon enough.
There is a flag, however. And it's on the offense. I believe it's holding. I didn't see it fast enough, though. hanging in there. Yeah, with an obvious hold. So, yeah, if you're Pittsburgh, you just take that penalty and you push this all the way back to second down and 22. 21, I'm sorry. I was off by a yard. Pittsburgh fans in attendance are suddenly fired up. A bunch of little kids that, hey, those kids should be in school tomorrow. 14-yard line right there. 3:35 remaining. Second down, 21. Cousins is back over the middle. Picks up maybe about 12 or 13 yards. It's going to make a third down and difficult, but not impossible. And keeping in mind that both teams still have all 3 timeouts as well.
Yes.
Third down and 9, 3:16 left. They're going to run this clock down absolutely as far as you can do it.
Yeah.
This is going to be 1 second left kind of a situation. But wow, who would have thought like an hour ago that this would be a must third down for Minnesota?
Well, I wouldn't even call it a must third down. It'd be very nice to have third down.
Yeah, but you can't, like I said, with Roethlisberger the way he's going in this fourth quarter,
you
need to get this. This is a must first down.
You don't need this. You look, Roethlisberger still has to score the touchdown and get the 2-point conversion. As great as he's been, and that's still a lot to do.
There's your must first down there too. And now Pittsburgh has to start taking timeouts. If you're Minnesota, you breathe a sigh of relief if you get this win. If you're Pittsburgh, this is the hardest kind of loss I think you can take. Because you were being blown out, you had hope. And then that hope got dashed. If it ends up being Minnesota wins this,
yeah. Now they're basically a first down away. They may not be, but yeah.
Yeah, but that was
very nice stop. You got the penalty, and now, missed the hold in there.
Yeah, but Dalvin Cook with his first catch of the game too, I believe. Pittsburgh pulls the first time out. 2:38 left. Well, it looks like I'll probably be wrong on this one. I did say that Pittsburgh was going to take it. 24-13, I think is what I said. So I am embarrassed by my prediction.
I had Pittsburgh covering, and I had the under.
Dalvin Cook with gets stopped at the line of scrimmage, maybe a little bit behind it.
I think that was Dalvin Cook.
They just called the second timeout in this case.
I think that's Matson for what it's worth.
What's that?
I think that's Matson for what it's worth.
Sunday, Giants versus the Chargers. Yeah. Giants with their new third quarterback in Jake Fromm. That's a bad image, rotoscoped image of Aaron Rodgers. I really don't like it. The other ones are okay. I don't like Aaron Rodgers. You'll see it in a second. So, second down and 10. Kirk Cousins, 14 for 30, 216 with 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions.
Horrible game. After all that, all we talked about how great his season had been, his touchdown interception ratio, his completion percentage. But
and they stopped Dalvin Cook again. So, or no, I'm sorry, it wasn't Dalvin Cook. I keep saying Dalvin Cook, but it's not. But that burns Pittsburgh's final timeout on the 3rd down and long. So this is the must. This
is not a must down.
If Minnesota can get this first down, it ends this game.
Yeah. Well, no, it doesn't.
No, but yeah.
Oh, yes, it will.
If
you have a first down with under 2 minutes, you've won the game. Yeah. Especially in this case, where if you give the ball back, there's seconds left, and they have to score a touchdown on the play and the 2-point conversion.
I mean, if I was Minnesota, they're not going to do it because they don't have Dalvin Cook or anybody back there. But I would have considered running the ball to get the ball down to the 2-minute warning. But they've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I was going to say they got 4 wide receivers set up on this.
Well, I don't think you mess around with running. You go for the big play. And if you get across the 50, you may go for it on 4th down.
And it's incomplete. And in this case, well, actually, there's a flag. Hang on. I was going to say, actually, in this case, they only would have lost 4 seconds off the clock if you're Pittsburgh. So, what is it? If this flag is
that's roughing the passer.
Is it? Oh, that's going to kill it right here. Or is it pass interference?
Oh, it's over here, but they had a free runner at the quarterback, and that looked like a late hit.
All right. So, yeah, it was maybe 2 penalties in the play.
Maybe
that could, yeah, I don't know if that would be pass interference. He did slow up, and he didn't knock him over or nothing either.
Well, according to my drive chart, there was no penalty, but we'll see. I don't see this. Oh,
no penalty on that.
Mask.
There is no penalty call. It is now a 4th down and 8, which means that Minnesota has to punt, which means Brendan Roethlisberger, although no timeouts left, does get a shot to tie this game after being down 29-0 in the 3rd quarter.
It's funny on TV. They're looking for that face mask call. So the guy made the right call, but he made the right flag, but didn't have the right call and then picked it up.
And the ball is pinned now. So Pittsburgh gets the ball at the 2-yard line and has to go 98 yards with 136 seconds left and no timeouts. All right, I'll give it this. This has turned into a really awesome game. Neither one of us were entirely sure going into this. It looked pretty lame for a while, but you know what? It's turned into a really, really good matchup here.
Well, I might get this. The touchdown, no 2-point conversion. I get my Pittsburgh covering.
Yeah. Well, I would say those missed 2-point conversions early on are looming extremely large now.
Well, they only missed the 1 2-point conversion.
No, they missed 2 in a row. They missed 2. No, they missed 2 in there, I thought. They missed 2 and made 2. No, I'm incorrect, I believe. Never mind, scratch that.
Yeah. Because they went for one. They went for one.
Yeah, you're right. So, all right, there's your first catch out of bounds. Only burns about 5 seconds off the clock, but stops the clock.
Well, that's what you want. That's a perfect play. 5 yards.
Yeah.
Get yourself some breathing room so you don't get a holding call in the end zone.
Yep. So now they're at the 8-yard line, but at least it's something. Yeah. Quick 3-step drop.
Everything is something. Everything is something here.
Yeah.
Every out of bounds reception is worthwhile.
Everything, yeah. You can throw one over the middle because you have the 2-minute warning too.
Yes.
Oh.
Which is nice. And you have no timeouts or 1 timeout.
He's throwing deep though. And there's a flag. Oh, that is probably pass interference on the defense. And only burns 5 seconds off the clock too. I was wondering if he was going to try and do that. You get the catch, you get the pass interference. Either way, you take what you get if you're Pittsburgh. And, oh, yeah, my God, that was a terrible, terrible pass interference. Almost came down with it, too.
All right. So live, it did not look like passing interference to me. It looked like he was looking at the ball, trying to play the ball.
Yeah.
And he had the inside position still.
Mm.
Nah.
Yeah. But yeah, so this first down and 10.
Wait. He caught the ball.
Now, basically, by the way, they've gone 45 yards in 11 seconds.
Are they calling pass interference or are they calling him catching the ball? He caught the ball.
I'm not sure.
He caught the ball.
Yeah, he did catch the ball. I thought his body went out of bounds though. But Pittsburgh's got to hurry up. Okay. Throw. All right, picking up. They got it close to the first down, maybe a yard shy, but there's the 2-minute warning and another flag. Oh God, a lot of flags in this half.
A lot of flags all game. Look, we started with the Ed Hockley conversation.
Yeah, I was gonna say yeah. Who was it before? It said something about that too.
Vanjecture
was talking about that. Yeah, and on the offense, so that brings it down to the 2-minute warning, and you get the penalty.
That's okay because
illegal block. Oh yeah. Oh dude, he wasn't even anywhere near it. It was a block in the back, and it was completely unnecessary too. Yeah. All right, so we got a big one right now. 2 minutes left. You know what? Give a credit where it's due. You know, Ben Roethlisberger has turned this into an interesting game. You know, I don't know what's going to happen here. You know, I'm kind of in a weird way rooting for Pittsburgh to pull. I love come from behind. I always do. Largest comeback win of all time, 28 points when they beat the Saints 38-30. Comeback win in the regular season in NFL history is 28 points. So
this would be the new. This is 29.
Yeah. So this would be the new record if they can come from behind and win. It's still a heck of a long shot, but yeah, you never know.
No, hey, look, touchdown, 2-point conversion, winning in overtime.
And then we're not going to bed anytime soon.
Yeah. So
all right. He throws over the middle. That's all right. He's not going to pick up. That was a bad decision there. So it's going to burn a lot of clock, and I think they may have lost a yard or two. So, second down and 17. Okay, they picked up 1 yard, but the clock is running, and they've already burned 20 seconds off the clock here.
Ooh. Yeah.
So here, 136, 135, 134 in the snap. Roethlisberger back, throws it over the middle, picks up most of it back. So he picked up about 13 yards there. Sets up a 3rd down and 4.
But the clock's still running.
But he's inside Minnesota territory, so you can Hail Mary at this point if you have to. Yeah. Roethlisberger, 24 for 33, 274, 3 touchdowns, and 1 pick. You know what? You can play the clock a little bit more at this point.
Yeah, you have time to make wise decisions, but you don't have time to.
He's short though, short of the first down. There was a catch that only picked up a yard or two. So this is a 4th down and about 3.
This is the game coming up.
Oh yeah, 4th down. I'm sorry, they're calling it 4th down and 1. So I guess there was some forward progress there. But 48 seconds, 47 seconds left.
Oof, big tackle.
Pass over the middle and complete. So now it's 33 or 34 yard line. You would assume that probably Roethlisberger is going to just spike the ball down. They're strong. They can't get the ball back to the referee here. It's burning a lot of clock. And there's the snap. There's the spike. They lost a lot of time when the ball literally fumbled away from the referee. Okay, 24 seconds left. That was a big 4th down, too. You didn't get much, but you got what you needed. But like you said before, even if you get the touchdown, you got to get that 2-point conversion.
Yeah, this is huge.
Mm-hmm. So
this is one of those things. If you're out there watching with us, let us know. I mean, this is really coming down the wire. We love how people jump in at the end to hear us talk about it. This is your chance. Yeah. Remember, you can find us Stream Punk Sports, both Facebook and Twitch,
First down
Twitter,
and out of
Instagram. We're everywhere.
Yeah. First down and out of bounds. 16 seconds left. Picked up 10. This is one of those things that if somehow Pittsburgh comes back to actually pull out a win here. This is one of those things that defines a season and gets you into the postseason. Covering NYCFC, there was one late goal against Atlanta after a long scoring drought. They have not lost since. It's the same kind of situation here where you get this comeback, you breathe that sigh of relief, and you know what? Our season just got saved.
The funny thing is, you're saying that, but what about last week's comeback? We should already have known they were going to win after last week's comeback.
But this is I don't know, throw for the end zone and incomplete. Nearly picked off too. Nearly picked off. Only burned 5 seconds off the clock, so it's still 11 seconds left. But you got to just start throwing through the end zone every time now. You got
that, or you can't not go out of bounds. That's for sure.
That's what I'm saying. At this point, you're close enough. You just start throwing to the end zone. Doing whatever you got to do. Maybe you pick up a penalty, put it. Even with timeout, even when the clock is
that should have been intercepted.
It very nearly was, but I think the collision caused that. But even if it's a pass interference with 0 seconds left, they don't end the game on the penalty. Right. So you've got a shot if you're Pittsburgh.
Right. Well, yeah. We got to talk about how that should have been intercepted. Well, people say that, except for the fact that it is so much harder to catch a ball as a defensive back than as a wide receiver, even if you have hands of a wide receiver. It's just everything is wrong.
By the way, gets out of bounds, 13 yards, 3 seconds left. So it was one of the weirdest routes I've seen to get out of bounds.
Ooh.
Yeah, I was gonna say that could have ended right there too. But we got 3 seconds left. Like I said,
if he gets tackled, that's the game.
Yep, exactly. So, all right. So, 3 seconds left.
This is great. He sees the two. He breaks out, sees the two guys like, I ain't gonna try. Just go out of bounds. Not even try to juke him.
And there's the snap over the middle, and incomplete, knocked out of his hands in the end zone. That was a touchdown that got dropped. And that, folks, is your ball game.
And that is why, as close as it got at the end, there was a 99.9% chance that, Freiermuth, I nearly needed that touchdown.
He apologizes for any inconvenience. But, yeah, that was catchable right there.
No, it was in his hands. It was in his hands. It was in his hands.
In triple coverage.
I'd like to see the replay. I suspect the defenders did a great job of getting their hands on the ball.
I almost wondered if that would be PI, but it's not. But you throw it into triple coverage and still got it in there. Oh, he had it in. Oh, yeah, he did the replay here. He totally 100% had it in his hand.
We saw a lot of drop passes this game and touchdown passes that were dropped. Plus the penalty in the end zone.
The ball was caught, but then was knocked out of the hand by the defender, Smith.
Yep.
So he gets all credit on this to basically keep
that.
Game.
He got his hand right down on that ball.
He did exactly what he had to do. Yeah. So, and if you're Pittsburgh, you're just it's a heartbreaker. If you're Minnesota, you breathe a sigh of relief, but a win is still a win.
What a reach around by Harrison Smith.
Yeah. So, all right. Any final thoughts, gentlemen?
Well, you're tired because you think there's more than one of me. But no, I'm good.
Your royalty. Your royalty.
Who knows when we'll see you on Saturday? Maybe in the morning, maybe in the afternoon, maybe both. Maybe I'll be on that game. Maybe not. I'm waiting for Scott to tell me if he's got himself a full deck or not. Because if not, you get to hear me talk soccer this Saturday, which is crazy. And if I may plug one thing, Drinking from the Garden Hose is doing a live episode this week, Friday, tomorrow night, 7:30. Find us Drinking on the Garden Hose on Facebook. We're going to be doing an interview with Eric, Ed's younger brother, who does one of those musical Christmas lights displays, does it himself. It's incredible.
Very cool.
We're talking to him.
But yeah, you'll see us again no later than Wednesday afternoon, 3 p.m. Eastern, the MLS Cup final between the Cinderella NYCFC team and the Portland Timbers. So we're going to be talking about that, covering the team. I've been doing the press conferences for the last couple of days. I got another one I got to do tomorrow. So it's going to be interesting. Pittsburgh, I'm tired too. Portland has the experience, in the MLS, Cup final. They've won it before. Everything right now is new territory to NYCFC, and the miracle season's continuing. So we're going to see what happens. 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific, and I don't know, o'clock your time. So anyway, for me, I'm Scott Schertzen. That, of course, was Mr. Obi Spencer. And this is Streampunk Sports. Drop us a message, comment, ideas, thoughts, compliments, complaints, what you want to hear, we want to do. As always, Streampunk Sports on Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, and also on YouTube, and Streampunk Sport, singular, on Twitter, because it only allows 15 characters. For myself, for Mr. Spencer, I'm Scott Schertzen. Have a great night.